Next up, the Screambox exclusive, Lizzie Lazarus from our good friends at Screambox. This is a movie that starts off with a corpse singing in the water about a bunch of reasons not to kill yourself.
Yep.
And then we watch these two people. We find out the corpse is this lady's sister and this guy's boyfriend or girlfriend. And they wander through the woods carrying her corpse to bring her to a place where they will resurrect her. It's like a Lazarus pit, or the biblical Lazarus who came back to life. And throughout the film, they walk and they talk, and then they walk and they talk and they walk and they talk, and then sometimes they talk while they walk, and sometimes they talk while they're crawling, and sometimes they talk while they're sitting.
I was gonna say, I think I saw them sit.
Yeah. And then there's a big reveal at the end.
That his neighbor had a wheelbarrow.
Yeah, he found that out at the very end. Joey C, who's apparently the manliest one here. What did you think of Lizzie Lazarus?
Before I get into it, I will say the ending, I'm not going to spoil it. Maybe everybody thought that they had the ending figured out within the first 5 minutes. I didn't fucking realize it until it happened, and I feel kind of dumb for that. But Gil, a long time ago, taught me a little trick called watch a movie at 1.5 speed when I made him watch Phantom of the Megaplex. And I thought, you know what? Boy, I'm going to do that for this movie. And I did, and I made a good choice on that one because that took no time at all to watch this movie. I did enjoy it. The opening scene when the girl's singing, I audibly said, what the hell is Tony making me watch? And then they're walking for a goddamn hour and 20 minutes. And I was very confused. And their flashbacks sprinkled throughout really tied it up nice. You're given enough information to understand. And then when they get into the whole sensitive themes of why she died, that was a little sad. But it was a bit like, I thought the ending was a bit out of left field. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if this was going to be like an alien movie or like a zombie movie or what have you. And then the scene where they're having sex in the motor vehicle. What the
Not
hell
these two, different people.
Oh, yeah,
Not these
different
characters.
people. That was a bit odd. I was watching it sped up, so it really looked ridiculous for me. It looked like two jackrabbits going at it. I did enjoy this movie. Now, I did half watch it. I will admit to that. I was balls deep in a plate of hot dogs and sauerkraut, but more knuckles deep rather. So I was half paying attention, but it was a pretty good movie. So I would recommend it if that means anything to you folks.
Gil, what did you think of Lizzie Lazarus? Were you knuckle deep in hot dogs while watching?
I was nowhere near a hot dog while watching.
That's sad. I can give you one.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think it's like a 4-hour drive between us. I'll be. I'm just gonna end that sentence there. So I thought this movie was good. I was worried at the start, honestly, because I know it's a smaller independent movie and it starts on a singing corpse, and so I was a little worried it was going to be a little too artsy, just doing weird stuff for the sake of it. And but then I was intrigued when they're in the woods and they seem like two relatively normal people carrying a body in the woods. It's already pretty interesting. And then you find out they're on their way to attempt a resurrection. So, Joey, is everything okay?
No, I just heard a big crash and I got concerned.
Me too.
Yeah,
Me too.
what was that?
That was over here.
What did you do?
Oh.
What dropped?
My light.
Okay.
Fine.
Okay,
My light
anyhow,
just
Gil,
around.
continue.
It's fine. Sorry, Gil.
No worries. I thought that it was interesting. Two, relatively normal people carrying a body in the woods. They're going to resurrect her. That's interesting. But like Joey pointed out, you soon realize that this movie is going to be, it's almost like a hangout movie of just two people talking. Essentially, they're walking around, but it's the equivalent of two people in a room talking. And that's also concerning. But I actually thought they generally pulled it off. In terms of the drama, I actually felt myself caring for these characters. And like horror aside, when you get into them dealing with the grief in different ways of losing this person who meant something different to each of them, that stuff worked for me. From a suspense level, there is a weird tension between them. She kind of throws these jabs at him, and you don't quite understand why. And then from his side, there are things he doesn't want to talk about, and I wasn't sure why, and I was waiting for the reveal for him to finally open up to her. And on the horror suspense side, there are, I thought, enough hints throughout the movie that left you wondering maybe there is something to this and they aren't just wasting their time in the woods. So I actually found it more engaging than I expected, and I was satisfied with the ending. Overall, I thought this was really good, better than I expected.
What did you go in expecting?
I thought it was, I mean, I guess I expected a lot of what I just described, but I didn't think it would be engaging. I thought it would be like, I think a lot of independent filmmakers, it's attractive to have a very small cast without a lot going on because it's a great way to not have a big budget. But I feel like to pull that off and make a conversation between two characters for an hour actually interesting is very challenging. So I assumed it was going to be that, but failing, and then just being boring, me not caring about either character, and there not being enough to just maintain the tension until you actually get to the end.
Yeah.
Crystal, what did you think of it?
I was going in. I don't know why I already went in with a different expectation when I knew nothing about it. I think I just saw Screambox and I was like, "Ooh, fun horror film," because I know Terrifier's on it, and I was kind of hoping for something crazy and bloody, and that's what I was in the mood for. And this is as exact opposite as possible. As for a horror film, I mean, it's definitely under the horror bucket, but it's not crazy horror. It's not gory. It's not. There's not as much suspense. It has a horror element, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it wasn't like a horror movie that I would watch over and over. Definitely not. I wish I was able to speed this up. I was easily distracted throughout this entire thing. The first, yes, with the singing, I was like, oh shit, well, is this like a musical horror film? Because wasn't in the mood for it, but that'd be interesting because I love Evil Dead the musical. But it wasn't. And I think that whole singing part, that whole first opening credits of the girl singing just completely threw me off. So I had no idea what to expect. And next thing you know, they're dragging a body. I was like, okay, it's going to get interesting. And then it's nothing but talking. I kept texting Tony. I was like, they're still walking, talking, still walking. Wait, nope, still walking. 40 minutes in, hour 15. Yep, still walking. I didn't mind the different points of view of their relationship with the girl that died. That was interesting. I liked that chemistry, but the other conversations felt not necessary. It felt as if she was saying almost controversial things just to say controversial, I guess, kind of things. It seems like her point of view kind of was all over the place, I guess you can say too.
She did try to act super smart. I love
she
when
did.
She got called out on that Stanford prison experiment and that other experiment, which people still love to quote, and they're like both bullshit.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that the movie like called it out.
Yeah,
some people still believe that stuff.
Yeah, she was definitely called out, but she tried really hard to be that smart, artsy kind of person. I forget what she was. There's some things where I remember texting you and be like, she literally just said this. Like, what the fuck? Like, it just felt like topics were thrown in there to, keep the movie going.
But the funny thing is, she admits that she does it on purpose. She's like, I just try to sound smart, so I throw that stuff out there. But it's like, just because the movie gives her a reason for doing it, it doesn't make it. It's not going to make you enjoy the fact that she's doing it all movie.
Exactly. The whole movie. Okay, great. You say a couple things here and there, but the entire thing. Something's kind of going on. Like, I definitely picked up on it at the very beginning of what was going to happen. I mean, obviously, the freaking name of the movie right there tells you what's going to happen pretty much. I wanted more of the ending to be a bigger part of it. That would have been fantastic. More of that kind of element, without spoiling it. I wouldn't watch it again.
I agree with what Gil said, the conversations, because that will either make or break this movie for you. For me, they were really good. I love the idea of like, you don't actually like really know someone, no matter how close you are to them. And this character died. And they both have like all these unanswered questions. Like, I wish I had time to ask them this. I wish I could have had that cleared up. I wish I said this to them. So the movie's really cool at asking those questions, seeing how people deal with it. And then if you have the option to bring someone back, would you go through all this? Because you don't want to go through the rest of your life wondering what they like, there are things about them that you're always wondering about that you'll never get answers on. So I really like that. I like how they kept dissecting and pulling that apart.
I don't feel like the sister really, the main thing she just didn't know was the tattoo. But besides that, she knew everything else. Some of it was just lying.
Well, she
didn't know about the fight with the boyfriend, like what happened the night
she didn't know about what happened with the fight. Yes.
Well,
but she knew everything else. She knew she was suicidal, and she's done it multiple times.
And
multiple times. And she keeps just bringing her back.
Yeah, but she also had the thing where, like, her reason for bringing her back, she was just like, I resented her for so much of my life because apparently Lizzie was like very sick growing up, so the parents spent more attention with her. So that's why she wants to bring her back, to make up for all the time she had resenting her. I don't know. I really, really enjoyed it. The ending, I think we all knew what the one twist was going to be. There is like a secondary twist where like someone was in on it the whole time, and I'm like, I don't think I needed that. I could have ended the movie a little bit. I don't want to spoil it. But like, the corpse is apparently aware of what was going to happen. That part I didn't really enjoy. I didn't enjoy that. One person getting screwed over, that part I liked. That one I predicted. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's good indie filmmaking. There was nothing jarringly bad. It was shot really well, which is surprising because it's all like in the woods at night with just these lanterns, basically.
It was so bright though. No fucking way. No fucking way. With just one lantern. That shit was way too bright to be in the fucking woods. Are you kidding me? That threw me off so much. No.
I thought it was good. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
You probably had the brightness on your laptop turned up way too high.
Oh, okay. TV. You guys are talking about watching things at 1/2 speed. I went to watch the screener of this. If you're wondering why I picked this, it's because Screambox sends me an email every month of what's new, and they'll say what exclusives they have, and I go, send me that one. So I literally knew nothing about this movie. You keep saying what you went in expected. I'm like, I expected nothing. I saw the title and I clicked on it. I literally knew nothing about the movie. But so I clicked on the screener, which is like on Vimeo, and then like 10 minutes into the movie, all of Vimeo went down. And I was like, oh, awesome. So I watched this movie. There was a big break between the first 10 minutes of the rest. But yeah, it's something unique. It's very different. I'm never going to forget it. I'm always going to remember this movie. I might not rewatch it. But there's something to be said for something that'll always stick in your head. That song is very catchy. I've been humming it the last few days.
Have you? I don't even remember it.
Yeah, I keep humming it. It's just in my head. I can't get it out. I like to see this person's other work. I want to see if the other movies are written as well, because I enjoyed the conversation that these characters were having throughout the film, and I love that it was in the 90s. That was fun. He's got his big tape Walkman. That was cool.
Yeah. They referenced Jeffrey Dahmer, which I look nothing like.
Which you look nothing like. You look nothing like. He was more handsome. Anyway, and then you make that face after I make that joke.
No, I was just glad you said
his face, Tony.
But yeah, we've been covering a lot of Screambox movies, and I feel like they're getting better, guys. I feel like they're getting better.
What was the name of that one horror movie we reviewed where it ended up being a ton of walking, just following the serial killer?
That was on Shudder. That was A Violent Nature.
A Violent Nature.
Oh yeah. We need more movies with a surprising amount of walking. Those always end up being interesting.
What was the one movie the dude who directed Elephant made where it's mostly just people walking? Hold on.
Yeah, we'll do that one next.
What is it? Was it called? All right. Gus Van Sant. Gus Van Sant, who did Crystal's favorite movie, the 1998 remake of Psycho. She loves that movie. Listen to our commentary track where she's just like, fuck you.
Entire time, yeah.
What is the movie he made where it's just people walking? Jerry with a G. two young men, they're hiking in the desert and they get lost and they're just starving to death. It's Casey Affleck and Matt Damon, and they're just like walking for like 2 hours and slowly dying. We're gonna do that, guys. We're gonna do Jerry from 2002. Are we excited?
I mean, without the
we
promise of like maybe a dead person is going to come back to life or something horrible is going to happen at the end, it'll be hard for me to hitch onto that ride.
I think we should all go in the woods with like a GoPro and lav mics, and we should review walking movies while we're walking.
I'm down.
I'm good with that.
I think that'd be a really fun thing to do. Lizzie Lazarus on Screenbox now. Check it out. Dark Match, a Shudder exclusive. Hold on, let me make sure I get that actor's name right. It's Joey C. I don't know how you're not calling it out right now. Stephen Ogg stars in this film.
Oh, Trevor? Yeah.
AKA Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5. I love
If you want to piss him off, just say Trevor.
Really? He gets pissed?
He fucking hates it.
But that's like his biggest role of all time.
I know, and he hates being known. I was in line to see him one year at Comic-Con, and he flipped on somebody in front of me because they just kept saying Trevor.
Well, were they saying anything else, or were they just saying the name Trevor over?
No,
and
they
over
were
again?
like, "Oh, Trevor, I love you so much, Trevor," and the guy was like, "God damn it, I'm known for more," and I was like, "Oh God."
Known for what? Dark Match?
Literally. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sorry, Stephen Ogg and Aisha Isa. I don't know if I butchered that. Isa and Chris Jericho. Tells the story of a small wrestling promotion that gets invited to perform at some guy's like house, really, his compound.
Yeah.
In a dark match. A dark match is an untelevised match, even though they are being recorded during this film. And it turns out that these are satanic like worshippers. They're like an evil cult, and the wrestling matches end with death. They really spring this on the wrestlers. It's part of some ancient ritual to awaken Satan, but also Chris Jericho's kind of got his own like revenge plan going into this. And yeah, they got to figure out a way to break out of the compound and survive these deadly wrestling matches. Joey, did you just throw a cheese ball in the air, try to catch it with your mouth, and it missed?
No.
Oh, good.
You guys fucking saw that? Pay attention to the movie. Come on now, man.
Well, I was getting to the part where I'm like, well, let's go down the list. And I saw that.
I got cheese in my eye.
Anyway, Crystal, you texted me about this movie, and I think I'm going to wager a bet that you probably liked it the most out of all of us. What did you think of Dark Match?
I loved it so much.
Tony, you're always
so
picking
good.
shitty movies, and also I really like Dark Match.
But it's meant to be like this. You can't go in and be like, this is an artsy classic, horror film. Like, what the fuck?
No, when I see Chris Jericho, I usually throw those expectations out the window.
Yes. It's supposed to be this late 80s, like wrestling, corny as hell, but fun. I wasn't bored at all whatsoever. The kills were great, super gory. The story wasn't insane. I would say the very last scene was threw me a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't expect
okay,
it.
that was I wasn't expecting that and didn't exactly love it. But it didn't ruin. Hi.
Oh my god, you just got attacked by a cat.
He's super needy right now. I thought it was so much fun though. I really, really did. And the story was good. There was still substance to the story, to the plot, to the characters. It wasn't badly acted either.
It was okay. Jericho's not the best. The other ones are good.
Yeah, him crying over his daughter,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
My daughter. My daughter.
My daughter.
Well, because they needed us to know that it's his daughter. So
Wait, was that his daughter? I had no
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But yes, it was. I loved it. It was fun. I'm gonna just keep saying that over and over. That's what I think.
I will say real quick, the director of this is the guy who directed Wolf Cop, which I've never actually seen. but flashback years ago when he was like promoting Wolf Cop, like 2 years before it came out. I was doing Mummy Cop at the time. And we would get into like playful, like friendly battles on Twitter where I would like just shit on Wolf Cop and he would fire back. I don't even know if those are even around anymore. Still have never seen Wolf Cop or the sequel. But yes, Joey C as probably the other man on the show who likes wrestling. What did you think of Dark Match?
I think the best part of this movie was, so I used to date an AEW wrestler who I will not name, and they FaceTimed Jericho in my
I bet it was
living room.
a pretty sexy lady one, right?
Yeah. And they FaceTimed Jericho in my living room, which was wild. And he was wearing that same hat, which I wonder if that's the same hat. A wrestling, satanic, violent movie was not what I thought this was. I didn't even know it was a wrestling movie. And I think it was better than it should have been. It was grungy. And I think like any fan of like 80s and 90s wrestling should definitely watch it. I think the idea of the plot is sick, and this movie really tickles me, but I feel like it has like immense potential, but I don't think it was executed that well, if that makes sense.
I'm kind of in the boat with you, and I can't believe you revealed that you slept with Britt Baker, and that's why she's leaving Adam Page. But I mean, kudos. Britt Baker is like gorgeous. I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know for sure. I don't know.
Of course, that's it. That's right. Right. The Hell in the Cell though was the Inferno match part was fucking sick.
Yeah, that is like a real match.
Every single one.
That was so fucking cool.
I wish the water one was a little bit more interesting, to be honest.
I didn't get the fan one, to be honest, where they were like, "Are you serious?" I was like, well, it's a fan.
Oh
like,
yeah, the fan didn't do anything.
Everyone kept freaking out, and they kept drawing attention to it, like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" And I'm like, it's a fan. I don't
it's
really
like,
see
just
the
don't
big
fall
deal.
in the fan. Try your best.
They made a bigger deal of like, there's a fan than like when people started getting killed. It was just kind of like, whatever. But the fan
but
was
everyone's
like,
under agreement. Like,
they must have blown the whole budget on like, we need a big fan in the ring.
But I also liked how like there were talks of like keeping kayfabe like in and out of the match. That was really fucking
the
cool.
luchador keeps kayfabe
like
the
that,
entire movie until the end, and his only line of dialogue is kayfabe. I love that.
All my useless wrestling knowledge finally made sense in a movie.
It really did.
It's sick.
I like the double meaning of the name, like dark match, untelevised match, but also there's dark stuff happening. Gil, what did you think of Dark Match?
Joey, I agree with what you said 100%, which is this movie is way better than I expected it to be going in. I feel like the first half, it genuinely is taking itself seriously. Like the actors are putting in the effort. There is genuine tension between the characters and interpersonal drama. And I feel like, I mean, the movie gets automatic points for me just because it's subject matter I'm interested in, which is just anything about cults. If it's a horror about cults, I'm automatically on board. And then making it about like a group of wrestlers, it's not the usual protagonists for a horror movie. So I was intrigued. And I didn't know what a dark match was. I don't know anything about wrestling. So I had like Google open next to the movie as I was watching it. I was like, what the hell is kayfabe? And I didn't know what a dark match was. And when I found out, I'm like, it's like non-televised. It's not recorded or broadcast. I was like, that's such a cool idea to incorporate into a horror. I felt like once the turn happened and it went into the second half of the movie, it was a little bit underwhelming. It's kind of like I was joking about the fan thing, but I feel like a lot of the reveals were kind of bland, where people are being killed and there should be tension and like, holy crap. But instead it was just like, whatever, it's happening. And I feel like the characters' reactions to all that, it was a little inconsistent, where sometimes they were more nonchalant than I thought they should be. Other times they were freaking out, crying, but then in the next scene they're dry-eyed and like back to nonchalant. So it was all just, and you could say, oh, it's just for fun, like whatever. But I felt like the first half it was slightly more than that, and I feel like there was potential for this to be like it was fun. I feel like it could have been really fun, but I had a good time with it. If the subject matter appeals to you, I think it is worth watching.
I agree with you. The second half really lost me. I was like intrigued for the first half. But I don't know. So the wrestling matches didn't really wow me.
Yeah.
The idea, like you said, the idea is really cool, but the execution with all like the death like matches and stuff, I feel like could have been a little bit better. Jericho is supposed to be the leader of this cult, but then he goes off book and changes his whole motivation. And so then it's like, who are the bad guys again? Is it Jericho or is it these other two over here? I'm not really sure who the main threat is
Motivation
anymore.
stayed the whole time. He was the bad guy. He didn't really care about the cult. His whole thing was more.
But he's the leader.
revenge.
That's why I thought it was weird.
It felt to me. It felt like he was a leader just so he could do this. Like he actually didn't really believe it. It was more about
then
revenge.
What a huge coincidence. The ending.
That's true.
I think there was someone from the way I took it was because someone else was doing the chanting. So with the cult members truly believing it, he didn't, but there was a cult member that truly did that ended up doing like the seance or what the chant.
Or he could have believed it, but once his daughter died, like grief just hit him too hard.
I had less of a problem. I thought all that logic, like Crystal, everything you laid out, I was like, that made sense to me. I had more of a problem with just the way it was revealed. There was no like slow roll of like we're figuring out more stuff as the movie goes. It was more like Stephen Ogg's character just kept remembering stuff. Like, wait, I know him. He was into this cult stuff, but he's just taking advantage. It was just characters would remember something and then spell it out. There was no like, oh, and like slowly figuring things out.
I think it wasn't meant for thinking.
That's probably true.
It was just like a grungy wrestling. Here's some blood. Here's some wrestling. Just grungy stuff. Bad movie. Like good bad movie.
Some of the matches look like the like little inserts they do in what's that, Joey? What's the wrestling show that's all about tragic wrestling stuff?
Dark Side of the Ring.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, that's exactly
Some of it was filmed
what it
like that.
Like.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Which I gotta catch up on that show. I really like that show.
So good. I literally cried watching the China one.
Dude, the New Jack episode. He was still alive when the episode aired, so it was a lot of fun. But like,
that is true. Yeah, that was a good episode.
Oh, New Jack was great.
Man.
But yeah, look, it's if you have Shudder AMC Plus, it's fine. It's fine and fun. I guess I just wanted it to maybe be a little bit more wacky or more serious. The whole like shift between the first and second half of the film just doesn't work for me too much. Also, I was expecting like more wrestlers in here, but were any of these guys wrestlers other than Jericho?
I don't think so. I didn't recognize anybody.
Well,
at
it
least.
doesn't exactly seem very big budget there. So Chris
Well,
Jericho was the one.
I mean, look, Kid Osborne does this show for free, so how hard could wrestlers be?
We all
I
do
didn't
it
say
for
they had to be
free.
big wrestlers. I just said, are they wrestlers?
You said we do it for free. I was going to say, well, we do it for, promotion. But the second I
No.
tried to even self-promote at all.
We do this for Tony. It's our community service, basically. I've been doing it for too many years.
Gil, stop reminding people that you have a channel. Take that one take subtitle off. Gil, you act like you're owed so much. What have you done for me lately except for drive down from New York to shoot an emergency episode last minute? Huh? What have you done for me lately?
And I was like, Tony, I'm feeling a little under the weather. Can we reschedule? And you're like, Gil, Daredevil is blind and he
I
fights
literally
crime.
called Gil because he's like, my throat hurts. Is there any way we can delay this? I'm like, blindness doesn't stop Daredevil. A sore throat shouldn't stop you.
Yeah, I was like, this is
and
definitely
also,
the
there's
same.
no room on the calendar. It has to be tomorrow. But yeah, I guess check it out. Next up, and this will be a fun one because we have a director interview for this segment. Yes, this is one of those times you get to watch like a trippy film and be like, what was that guy thinking? Well, we'll find out because I got to ask him. But Delicate Arch, it is on Screambox. It's about a bunch of friends who go out into the desert during some weird thing that's happening. They call it like the inversion or something. And reality starts to bend and warp around them, and they end up being inside a horror movie. Several horror movies, actually, whatever entity is making the horror movie can't decide which horror movie they're in. And they literally at one point break the frame of the film because they realize they are stuck in some crazy entity's idea for a movie. It is very, very trippy. It is half found footage. they play around with like cell phone filters and whatnot during their drug trip. I had a really good time for it. I can't wait for you guys to hear from the director. But real quick, Crystal, did you watch this one?
I did.
Did you enjoy it?
Careful,
It was interesting.
careful.
No, don't worry. He
Careful.
brings up in the interview some of the reviews he's gotten, so don't worry about it.
No, it was definitely interesting. I didn't know. Once again, didn't know what the film was. Didn't watch the trailer, had no idea. So I was like, okay. And then it just happened.
Mm.
I like the concept. I think it was a really cool concept.
Mm.
For me, I did speed it up a little bit so I could make sure I got to watch all of it.
But God damn it again. By the way, Screambox shared our review of Lizzie Lazarus, and I forgot there's like a minute of us going like, yeah, we played the movie double speed, so we
Yeah, we did.
God damn it.
That's what I did for this movie.
I had to because it was a little bit long and I was trying to make sure I was grasping what was happening.
Mm.
So for my brain, the slowness wasn't working. I was losing interest, but with it sped up, I was fine.
Okay.
Especially the walking and the trip part and stuff. Part of me wants to go back and rewatch that part because I thought that part was really cool.
I definitely want to rewatch this one again.
I want to
Very
rewatch
accurate, man.
it. I would watching it for the first time sped up. Great. I think I would want to rewatch certain parts of it, not and actually now that I know what it's about, rewatch. The concept was so interesting. You have to be paying attention to this movie or you're not going to be interested or you're going to lose what the hell is happening. It was Screambox always thinks things are more horror-esque, and for the last two movies, they're not very horror.
You know what? They're
Look, I'm
horror-esque, but they're not horror.
That's what
Yeah,
it is.
They have horror
Yeah.
stuff. I don't know.
They have Terrifier.
These
the
are
second
the
time I thought
ones.
it'd be like
These are the ones
Terrifier.
that are on the mailing list. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'll check it out. Joey C, what did you think
Yeah.
of Delicate Arch? Did you have any special brownies before this? Or
I
you're-
did. Yeah, I did.
That probably was a bad idea.
Well, it
I
might
did
have
the whole-
counteracted the movie's vibe.
No,
but for you, it was
no.
a totally normal movie.
No, Gil, it
Yeah.
fucked me up, man. I did the whole Gil trick. I played it at 2x. Well, I was only supposed
Guys,
to play it
I don't like this
God
reputation.
damn it.
To be
I'm not
fair,
posting this to Twitter, you asshole.
But-
just to
No,
be
no, no.
clear,
I
I
did-
never said I watched it on 2x. I just said that's an option. That's all I said.
I watched like 20 minutes on 2x and I was like, I gotta rewind this and play it at regular speed because I was not following. So I did watch the whole movie on regular speed. And I don't know what the fuck I watched. I was very confused, but I was impressed. It's like a creature feature with found footage and experimental horror. I was constantly saying, what the fuck is going on here? I did feel like it was style over substance for most of the movie.
Yes.
But I kind of dig that, with like the aspect ratio changing and the trippy segments were really fucking entertaining to watch. I was also I don't want to spoil it, but I was very confused about the ending. It's very vague. I feel like I've never flaunted my knowledge. I'm dumb. I'm very dumb. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
Was it about basically like a multiverse or something like
Yeah,
that? Or
like
he
a
was in his-
gateway or like
Well,
Yeah, I thought he was like he went into like not just like a multiverse, or he was in his own head and had his own story in his head and happened because because he came back and it sounded like this entire vision just happened in a blink of an eye, and he literally stabbed his eyes.
see, that makes sense. That makes more sense.
Wait, Laura, did he
Hey.
use straws or was that chopsticks? If it was straws,
Chopstick,
They were
right?
chopsticks.
Damn it.
Yeah.
I thought we were picking up. There's like a new
Almost.
trend going on here.
Well, Gil, real quick, what did you think of the film before
Uh,
we go to the director interview?
Yeah, I liked it. I think there's it straddles a fine line because I feel like when movies get experimental, usually to me that means we don't care about narrative, like whatever. And I can't watch a movie like that. But I feel like what this movie does is for the first half, it's fairly grounded. There's not a lot of weird stuff going on. There's a little hints here and there. And so I got invested in the characters. I thought it did a good job of, when you have like a low budget movie like this, you really need to get bought into the characters and their little interpersonal dramas. And I felt connected to them. And then when the weird stuff starts happening, what I appreciated is that it didn't let go of narrative entirely, in the sense that the characters were reacting to the lack of narrative. Like the characters were still there saying, what the hell is going on? As opposed to like my biggest pet peeve with movies, and like Midsommar is one that did this, where by the end all the characters are drugged up or hypnotized, and at that point there's nobody making choices, and then I feel like I'm just watching a bunch of people that are in the passenger seat, and I start to disconnect, and that didn't happen with me here. And I feel like the other line this is straddling is when it starts to get experimental. The worst thing that can happen is when it feels like a filmmaker just throwing crap against the wall and seeing what sticks. And it feels like someone just describing their dream, and you get bored because there's no internal logic to any of it. But this movie, I can't tell you, word for word what it means and what it was all about, but I did trust that there was a vision, and I did feel like beneath the surface there's something there. Like some of the takeaways for me is that it's saying something about the medium of film, like the limitations of it. Okay, when someone's not on screen, they may as well not exist. I didn't exist until the camera was pointed at me. And okay, well, what does that say about reality? If I haven't talked to somebody in 10 years, for all intents and purposes, in my world, they don't exist. But then it also looks at the other end, which is the infinite possibilities of film. So you can look at the footage of when the horror element actually enters. You see it's zombies, or is it aliens? It could be any kind of horror movie. So I don't really know what to conclude from all that, but I feel like it's looking at both the limitations, like he's literally trapped in the frame, but then at the same time, like the infinite possibilities, even when they're going through like the Snapchat filters and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I found it interesting. I do feel like it straddled that line. It can be a challenging watch, but it definitely kept my attention, and I'm excited to see what else this filmmaker does. And I'm excited for this interview. Hopefully, he just explains it all.
I'm excited for this interview. Real quick, I'm going to bring Logan in. Logan.
Hey.
You're going to really like the end of this interview. It turns out this director worked on a movie that me and you talked about. And
All right.
and he confirms a theory that I had about that movie. So pay attention to this one. All right, I'm going to take us off and I'm going to play this interview and we will be back afterwards. So if anyone has to pee on the panel, now is the time to do it. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Everyone, I'm here with the director and writer, Matt Warren, who wrote and directed Delicate Arch. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hey, Antonio. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about this with you.
Yes, I really enjoyed your movie.
Thank you.
I don't think I understand all of it, but that's fine. That's fine.
I don't think I do either.
Well,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad you admitted that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically I just wanted to know a little bit about yourself. How long have you been working in films?
I'm based in Louisville now,
All right.
in Kentucky, and I grew up in Utah between Park City and Salt Lake City.
Okay.
And then there was about a 20-year chunk where I was in Los Angeles in between those two things. So I grew up loving like the VHS hits of the 80s, like all of us of our generation did. Your Ghostbusters, your Back to the Futures, your Indiana Jones, and some could argue that was like the peak of Hollywood filmmaking in terms of its potency, especially on a young viewer. So a real relationship with cinema began then. And then later, when I was in high school, I got more into sort of more esoteric films and more artsy films, and specifically horror films, and kind of discovering the great canon of horror movies. And I was living in Park City during this time. And so concurrent to that, you also had kind of like the early and mid 90s, actually it kind of lasted the entire decade, but the Sundance boom. So each year, just my kind of little resort town that I called my hometown just became like, the center of filmmaking and film culture for like a week each year. And that was always a really intoxicating environment to be around. And I was able to see a lot of stuff then. And that just kind of further cemented my, fascination with an aspiration to continue being a part of that.
Cool.
And yeah, that continued through film school at the University of Utah, and then through a 20-year career in LA working on sort of smaller stuff.
Awesome. So yes, where did the idea of Delicate Arch come from?
A lot of times, the best creative ideas are sort of when two separate ideas kind of grow into each other. Two ideas that are half baked or maybe even 75% baked come in, and then all of a sudden you have something that's like 150% baked. And for this one, it was really grew out of two sequences that exist in the film, the final film, pretty much as I see them, as I envisioned them. One was the sort of film within the film, where the characters make this short film with a disembodied hand.
Yeah.
And that is sort of a remake of a student film I had made. And for whatever reason, that imagery just kind of stuck with me. And then the other part of that short film was that we made that on sort of a weekend camping trip in Arches National Park, where a lot of the basic skeleton of the characters and their dynamics and some of the plot points in Delicate Arch kind of come from. And then the other thing was the one sort of centerpiece sequence where Grant, our protagonist, is interacting with the camera in hopefully this innovative way and sort of testing the limits of the frame he occupies. That was sort of a whole sequence that like kind of came to me in a flash of inspiration while I was watching movies at Sundance one year and at the Eccles Center. And I kind of fit those two together, and that's where Delicate Arch came from.
Nice. And I will say that was my favorite scene in the film, where he's like literally breaking the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which you only ever get to see breaking the frame in big budget 3D movies. It was a little bit more interesting here than seeing the Ghostbusters proton energy going everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a reference for that was I don't know if you've seen the old like Donald Duck cartoon Duck Amuck, where
probably not in a very long time.
So yeah, well, when people ask me about my influences on this movie, I'm always happy to cite this one Donald Duck cartoon from, I don't know, whenever they were making Donald Duck cartoons, the 40s or whatever. I didn't know how we were really going to execute that, but we had William Leon, who's such a gifted performer, playing that role, and Matthew Rogers and our whole sort of camera team. Matthew was our DP, and they really kind of figured out how to do that practically. And that was definitely the most takes of anything.
Probably, yeah.
we did in the film. Yeah.
No, I love how you guys played with the aspect ratios throughout the whole film. And yeah, him breaking that mat was a lot of fun, because people forget, like, there's a whole movie outside of the mat. Years ago, a person sent me a cut of Jurassic Park that was open mat. And it was like you're watching the movie. I included footage of it in my review, and people were because I didn't draw attention to it. So people were so confused. They're like, wait, are there pillows underneath the frame? They're like, wait, is that a mic? I'm like, where's that light? I'm like, wait, they're like, Tony, where is this footage? And I just put it in there to see if it copy. But yeah, it's like you totally watch a movie in a whole different way when it shifts aspect ratios. I wanted to ask about where they're tripping out on mushrooms and you guys are using the filters.
Yeah.
Was that actually done like with the filters on the phone, or did you make it up in like post-production with visual effects, or was that actually all done with the actual like filters that you can put on your phone?
Well, yes and no. So everything in the film was shot on set with our cast and crew, but we didn't shoot it to where the filters were active while we were shooting it. We just kind of shot the raw footage of the characters.
Okay.
And then it was in post-productions where we take that raw footage and sort of experiment with, just have that footage on, just put that footage on my phone, essentially, just like it was, any other sort of home video footage, and downloaded a bunch of kind of these, there were just a bunch of them at the time when this sort of AR technology was just emerging on a prosumer level. I just downloaded a bunch of these different apps and would experiment with sort of different looks, and then a lot of the time sort of layering different looks on top of each other. Like you run it through one app in one filter, and then you run it through, take that, what that spits out, and then run it through a different one. And then just sort of like mix and match, and hopefully came up with something that's unique in a way that, is sort of a one of a kind thing that can't be replicated, even if you were to download one of these apps.
I thought it was a really cool way to show like a drug trip, but like have it built into the narrative of the story. Like it's found footage, so it's like at first I was just like, wait, how are they filming them tripping? I'm like, oh, and then they draw attention to it. They're like, oh yeah, I'm playing with these filters. Like that was actually a really funny way to get around that. What did you enjoy filming more? The more like traditional cinematic stuff, or the more found footage parts of the film? And how was it blending those together in post? Because I liked how it kind of went back and forth.
The vibe wasn't too different between filming all of the different things. We still basically used the same amount of crew to rig and light and shoot everything. It was just a matter of what the device was that Matthew Rogers, our DP, was holding. The things that were a little bit different, and they actually worked out great, even though I was a bit nervous about it at the time, was there's a lot of stuff that is just shot by our actors that, maybe sometimes I was watching it on a monitor far away. Sometimes I wasn't. I would just send them around the block with the video camera that they had, and, told them to film the scene themselves. And luckily all that stuff came back really good, because all those guys are really great filmmakers in addition to being actors. So that was fun. But yeah, I think the most challenging day was actually our last day, which is when we shot all those different sort of setups with the aliens and like the bikers, and like
I loved how it kept like they were like, it was like whatever this entity is, it can't make up its mind on what kind of movie they want to make, so they keep changing it. I really enjoy that.
And it's basically, those are all the same people. They just like get quick sent back to the trailer real quick, get turned into a biker or an alien or a zombie or whatever, and then get sent back to set. And we just kept doing that scene over and over. And it worked in the film, but we lost the light. Like there are sequences at the end of that when they turn into devil worshippers and all that. That's at night. In the script, that was all supposed to be kind of during the day at the same time, but we went way past the setting of the sun, and it ended up working out in
I think it worked.
The reality of the film. But
so actually you guys filmed a lot in the desert. Like how deep in the desert were you? I filmed in deserts like very briefly for a TV show, but we were never like deep in it. What was it like filming in the desert for you guys?
It was interesting because we were about 45 minutes outside of Moab proper, which is the resort town just outside of Arches National Park in southern Utah. And so that Moab proper is definitely civilization, but we would sort of drive 45 minutes outside of Moab to this really unique piece of private property literally called the land that is actually, if I had to compare it to anything, it would be just sort of like a little miniature Burning Man type environment, because there are a bunch of kind of weird off the grid, like weird in a great way, but like weird off the grids artists and creatives who just kind of live in this, almost sort of commune out there in the desert, and have kind of just turned it into a whole like living, breathing art piece, where they do concerts and different performance art and all sorts of strange things. It's all sort of set decorated, and a lot of the stuff we worked into the film. So we kind of would just walk around this amazing, like Mad Max built environment in the desert and just kind of pick and choose things to use for our film. And it was all kind of improvisatory, and just sort of playing off this really unique place.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But yeah, like I said, the movie is kind of trippy. I feel like a lot of it's open to interpretation. But since I have you, it's space aliens, right? Space aliens are making a movie and they can't figure out what kind of movie they want to make. Is that it? Did I figure it out? Did I crack the case?
I wouldn't say that. No, that's
Oh.
not what I imagine. But the extent to which I imagine anything specifically is, it's a little foggy for me as well.
He kept imagining that space alien. I'm like, oh, I bet you that's like the guy who's trying to make this movie. I don't know why he's making a movie. But yeah, I like movies like this. I know some people don't, but I really enjoy them. I like being like, I wonder what they were thinking in this moment. It's also a little relatable. I remember being younger, going on trips with friends and making like a movie like on the trip. So I really related to that.
Yeah.
Sometimes the movie would never get finished because when the main guy talked about how his friends were like messing around too much and not taking his script seriously, and I was like, oh man, I relate to having a film with friends who didn't care. I'm like, that one hit me right there.
Yeah, I think that's very relatable
Yeah.
for all of us who were in that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, and it seems like a lot of people really like it from what I've seen. How's the reaction to the film been for you?
It's been largely positive, but also a little bit polarizing.
Yeah.
I think we have kind of 2/3 very enthusiastic and effusive, and 1/3 really, really doesn't like it. So I always knew that it would be kind of polarizing.
Yeah.
And
This is definitely one of those where I'm like, I'm thinking of my friend group, and I'm like, they would love it. They would love it. They would be mad. They would love it. They would love it. But I love movies like that have those two very different reactions from people. It's effective. That means your movie's effective.
oh yeah, on Letterboxd we have like 5-star reviews, 4.5-star reviews, and we have like 0.5-star, 1-star, 0-star reviews too. So people are split on it, but generally more positive than negative, and I think that's frankly appropriate to the kind of film that is. I think it would not be doing what we wanted it to do if there was just sort of a middling 3-star consensus around it.
Yeah.
So I consider even the 1-star reviews a success, really.
Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm excited to watch it again. I have to like watch a bunch of movies for work, but I actually like really want to like sit down and watch it again and see if I pick up on anything else. Which is the best thing about these types of films. Like you watch it multiple times. Like I want to like try and figure out. So they mentioned like that guy who was a killer she grew up with, and he shows up at the very end. I want to see if I missed any other references to him throughout the film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was really, really good. I hope everyone checks it out on Screambox. Brought to us by the good people at Cineverse and Bloody Disgusting. I love that Bloody Disgusting releases films now because as a teenager, I was on their web forums like all the time.
Yeah.
But yes, I pulled up your IMDb and there's one movie I have to ask you what it was like to work on because I covered it a few months back. How was The Crow Wicket Prayer?
Yeah, so this was kind of the first real Hollywood film set I ever worked on. I was this was while I was in film school at the University of Utah in Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And me and my best friend JJ, who is now a filmmaker up in Seattle, we went and joined the camera department as interns, and it was like we had nothing to sort of compare it to because it was the first time we had ever been on a set like that. But according to everyone who we worked with and we talked to, who were like these, salty dog camera guys from LA, they all said it was like the most troubled, like dysfunctional production they had ever been on. And it was sort of chaotic, to be honest. It was like, God, is every film like this? But yeah, I haven't been on many since that have been that sort of stressful and and a mess behind the scenes, but that one definitely seemed to be. So it was a hell of a place to start with with filmmaking.
I just want to know, were you on set the day Dennis Hopper was doing his jive talking pimp priest stuff? And what was that like to see? I hadn't watched the movie in a very long time. We did a review where we did like all the Crow sequels and the remake. And I was like, man, this one's really bad. And then Dennis Hopper showed up and I'm like, no, hey, he saved the movie. He should have been in the whole movie. I would have loved to have seen that in person. What was that like?
I mean, it was cool, you know. It's cool anytime you get to share a space with a legendary guy like that. And he came in, he had an assistant who was like this older Native American guy. And they were always kind of talking together and hanging out. And I think he basically threw out the script and didn't do anything that his character was scripted to say. Yeah.
That is what I thought when I was watching the movie. I'm like, there's no way someone wrote this. It comes way too late in the movie to be that ridiculous. Like, that had to be his idea.
Yeah, so I think he just threw it out and did whatever he was going to do and was pretty quickly in and out.
Yeah.
The other, I think it may not have been that day, but it was that same location. Macy Gray was also in the movie for a second. And I don't know if she was going through, you know, I think you can read up that she was like having some substance abuse problems at that time, but she could not like she had like one line and she could not get through it. And it just took forever. And I think they had to eventually just Frankenstein together a couple different takes, but
that's funny because
that was really strange too.
Your movie has a whole thing where they filmed one line over and over again. It's in like the one character's backstory. So that's pretty funny. I've had to deal with that on this show. Our co-host Crystal, she acted in a short we did, and she just could not get the line right. She could not get it right. We filmed it like 15 times. So very relatable.
And the other thing I'll share that was a little bit dark was Eddie Furlong and oh gosh, I'm blanking on her name. And Tara Reid, I think were both at the height of their sort of parting chapters of their lives. And then I remember one day the producer, you can look up who this is, but he was the guy who had made all the Crow films, and including the first one. He was just sort of talking on a cell phone. He was really upset about something, and something trivial like losing a location or something. I don't remember exactly what, but he said something to the effect of, I've done 4 of these Crow movies and this is the worst thing to happen on any of them.
Oh no.
And I was like, well, I can think of one other thing I would put ahead of it, but
it's fun.
So that was a little dark, but it was pretty funny.
But yes, thank you for letting us know about that Crow Wicker prayer. I'm so happy that I now know Dennis Hopper just did that on his own, and it makes me so happy. It just makes the movie better now. But yes, sorry.
Oh, I was just say he seemed totally cool and professional, other than just wanting to do his own lines. But
look, he said he wanted to thank the devil for repping the homeboys, and I'm like, fucking brilliant. But yes, where can we follow you, Matt? Where can we keep up to date on your future projects and whatnot?
Yeah, you can, if you want to follow the film, we've pretty much been using Instagram as our primary platform. You can find the film at Delicate Arch Pick on Instagram. And if you want to follow me personally, I'm at MPM Warren. So Matt Patrick Murphy Warren, MPM Warren.
Awesome. All right. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll talk to you later. I fucking knew it. I knew Dennis Hopper had to make up those lines on the set. There's no way they were written for him. That was the most amazing reveal ever. That's why I wanted you specifically to watch that, Logan. First up on the list is Clown in a Cornfield, which is based off a book. Actually, Johanna... or Joey, have you gone to Monster Mania with us?
No.
Wait, you haven't.
Didn't? Oh, no. I went to VHS Fest.
Yeah.
One of
Or
them.
no,
I can't remember.
Too many games he came to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I think one year at Monster Mania, the writer of Clown on the Cornfield had a booth. I think Lena was telling me because she saw this in theaters. So this came out in theaters a while back, but it just hit Shudders, which is why we're including it this month. But yeah, we probably met the writer of Clown on the Cornfield and forgot. Had I known it got a movie deal, I would have talked to him a little bit more. So yeah, this is Clown in the Cornfield, tells the story of a girl who moves to a new town who has a mascot called Friendo. Their town is all about corn farming. They're a corn town, big corn town. Friendo is like a local legend, and she ends up becoming friends with some kids who like to make horror films about Friendo the clown. One by one, they all start getting picked off by Friendo or Friendos. Are there multiple clowns in this cornfield? It stars a bunch of people I don't know, and Will Sasso from Mad TV and Chris Durant. Joey, what did you think of Clown in a Cornfield?
Well, again, I go in blind into most of these like streaming movies that you send me, and I just love that the title says it all. It's all you need to know. And I didn't know it was a book. If I knew how to read, that would be pretty cool. It's not very original, but goddamn, this movie was great. The kills were bloody, fine and fun, if you will. I don't really give a shit, or I didn't give a shit per se about the father-daughter moving storyline or whatever. We all know what we're here for. Friendo's name just pissed me off. I was like, fuck you. This is some Terrifier bullshit. I'm just so glad Will Sasso was in it because everybody knows him, of course, from the 1995 classic movie Ernest Goes to School. But besides that, now, Tony, my irrational fear of cornfield.
Yes,
okay?
Joey C. Joanna, did you know about this?
Mm-mm.
Joey C. Two things happened to Joey C. in his youth. He watched Jeepers Creepers 2. And on that day, it might have awoken something in him sexually, because I don't know if you've watched Jeepers Creepers 2 recently, but there's a lot of shirtless young boys in it. And
I wonder why.
And he developed a fear of cornfield.
I also watched Nightmare 2 on that.
In one night he watched the gayest Freddy Krueger movie and the gayest Jeepers Creepers movie.
This movie just did not make me feel good. I was on edge the whole fucking time.
What if the clowns were shirtless?
That's, if the clowns were shirtless and had like sexy overalls, it'd be a totally different story. But I mean, like, the movie really gave me vibes of like an adult Goosebumps version of Welcome to Dead House with like the town full of bad people. Spoiler alert, probably shouldn't have said that, but that's fine. This movie is probably made for like horror buff teens, I feel like. That being said, though, I really fucking enjoyed it. I think it was worth the watch. This is, for the record, this was not a movie that I watched on double speed. This was a normal speed movie, and boy, did I enjoy it. It wasn't so bad in the not so perfect world of modern.
Joey, we don't get early screeners from Shudder. Okay, it was a problem when you did it with Screambox. I don't know if you know this, but Screambox was sending us early screeners. And the two we reviewed had Joey and Crystal and Gil going like, yeah, I watched it double speed to make it go faster. And I went, you sons of bitches. They're sending us early screeners.
I'll get that sponsorship.
The screeners have become more infrequent. Thank you, guys. I get one like every few months now. Thanks a lot, guys.
I'll convince them.
Johanna, Clown in the Cornfield. You're probably holding back all your opinions. You just want to get them out there. What did you think?
I didn't watch this shit.
Okay, so Clown in the Cornfield, I actually had fun with it. It was sort of generic, not in like a bad way though. The characters were fun enough. They weren't like bland, really. So I was invested in the girl story. I actually didn't mind the father-daughter story. I thought that was fun. The whole thing with her learning how to use the stick shift actually came into play at the finale, which I thought was really, really clever. The cast is solid. Chris Durant, I don't know. In the same year, he goes, or no, that was probably, so within 1 year, he's like the main bad guy in Planet of the Apes 4, and then he's the main bad guy in Clown in the Corn.
Yeah.
That guy just do fucking anything. It's a really good time. I was not expecting the one twist where there's multiple clowns.
When they came out, I was like, wait, what the fuck? What's going on here?
And without spoiling too much, it gets a little hot fuzz at the end. A little what was that famous book, The Lottery, I think. They borrow like a plot point from other movies. But overall, very, very solid indie horror film. It looked great. It flowed really well. It wasn't like they didn't do any cheap, low budget stuff where they hide the gore too much or just insert
Kills were good
scenes.
too. I
Yeah,
thought the kills were solid.
the kills were solid. It was exciting. Somehow there's 3 books in this series,
And I think there's one more being written now.
but the way
who
the
knows?
movie ended, I'm like, where do you go from there?
I have no idea.
I don't know how you replicate this whole situation in another town, or how do you bring it back? It's a little confusing how they're going to do a sequel. But overall, really, really good time. I know some people were hit or miss on it, but I've seen a lot of bad slasher films. And when it comes to bad indie films, if you watched our 28 Days Later episode, the 28 months after, I think watching this after 28 months after was a good idea, because this looks so much better by comparison.
Surprisingly, I watched it after a certain movie that we're going to talk about. So I was worried. I was like, oh, fuck, how do you fucking follow this up? But it was fantastic. I loved it.
But yeah, if you have Shudder, I suggest definitely check this out. And it was cool. Like going back a little bit, they apparently, I missed this. They did like a whole drive-in thing for one weekend only. It was like drive-ins nationwide. We're playing Clown in a cornfield. I'm like, oh fuck, I
that's
should have went to
cool.
one of those.
Was that
But yeah,
Mahoning?
I don't know if it was at Mahoning. If it
Okay.
was, I missed it. If it was, I missed
Well,
it.
it says
I didn't
nationwide.
see anything.
That's in the nation. I'm
Yeah,
just saying what they said.
is Mahoning? This is May. Is Mahoning open in May? Maybe they are. I don't know. Anyway, I will be at the Mahoning September 14th for the punk rock flea market. Check me out there. So yeah, Cloud in the Cornfield, highly recommend it. I mean, there is some wokeness in it.
There's a lot of wokeness in this. What the fuck are you talking
Go
about?
woke, go broke.
Are you shitting me?
Now, it is like the one woke thing where, like, I mean, it was.
That one woke friend.
Yeah.
There's some gay propaganda in here, son.
No,
and I
there's-
don't fucking like that.
So you know how like a lot of things these days are like we have to just shoehorn a gay character in, we just have to do it. I'm still on the fence if this is an example of that or if it was just a clever twist. Because even I was like, oh, that's why that was happening. How did you feel, Joey C? I asked for no reason in particular.
Am I the token gay character? I'm talking to a woman right now, I'll have you know. Good Lord.
Was the gay thing out of left field or was it appropriate?
No, you know what I fucking said? I said, finally! Woohoo!
You're like,
No,
finally,
it's it.
Jeepers Creepers, they were pretending they weren't gay in that cornfield, so it must have been so refreshing.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Finally, someone's saying the quiet part out loud. You go in a cornfield, you
boy.
come out gay.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're gay and like to hang out in cornfields, check out this movie. Next up, Joanna, have we sold you on the movie? Or are you gonna go? You gonna go see Clown?
No,
in Corn-
actually, I'm gonna go watch that fucking movie.
It fucking rocks.
Joanna's like, I thought I was bi, but it turns out I am lesbian. This movie really changed. Next up, okay, we're not off the high seas yet. This is another movie that came out a while ago, but it just hit Shudder, and I really, really wanted to see it when it was out, and I missed it. Dangerous Animals.
Yeah.
This tells the story of a guy who runs a tour boat in Australia. He kidnaps people, takes them out in the ocean, throws a bunch of chum in there, and then feeds them to sharks and videotapes it. This girl gets kidnapped, and she's got to figure out a way off the boat to save herself and her new man friend. And sometimes Shy Courtney dances. This movie fucking ruled. I really, I'm gonna take his groin off the camera there. It's very
That's a
distracting.
good call.
Let's go back to that. This movie had my attention the whole time. It's a very simple premise. Jai Courtney is one of those actors I used to hate, but then I realized he just kept acting in bad things. like I Frankenstein, Die Hard 5, Terminator Genesis, Suicide Squad. And then I think I eventually saw him in like other things where he wasn't terrible. I'm like, oh, I just had the unfortunate luck of seeing him in a string of bad movies. He was amazing in this. I enjoyed his performance so much. It was a tense thriller. I have nothing bad to say about it. Joey, what did you think?
Thought it was an interesting concept. I like that it was a small cast. I got a small brain. It helps me focus on the movie. It's about an hour and a half, I think. It's a little too long. It could have been a bit tighter. I think like 2/3 of the movie was very decent, but it feels like at the ending, it kind of lost like a lot of momentum. And the only thing I don't like about it is there's a lot of cliches in this movie and a lot of unrealistic survivals here. So that was pissing me off the entire time, especially towards the end. I will say the sound design though was like exceptionally incredible here. It really had this like low tune, like fucking dread throughout it. And I hated the jump scares, and I typically do in movies, but the one, and this won't give anything away, but the one where the girl got the bag over her head. That one got me pretty good. Really? In a manly way, of course, but I'm not gonna get scared or anything.
Obviously. No. You scared? No,
not me, dude.
Unless it's a cornfield.
Yeah, well, cornfields. I don't fuck with cornfields or haunted houses that Tony brings me to. They cornered me, Tony.
You don't want to go to Valley of Fear again? You don't want
No, they left me in a room, and then you left me, and then I was there to fend for myself, and then me and you were running through bed sheets trying to find each other.
You should have filmed that. That would have been a great movie.
Should have.
Good Lord.
Tony versus the Sheets.
Those sheets were no joke.
Jesus.
Yeah. Crystal, what did you think of Dangerous Animals? And please don't say just stuff about Jai Courtney's crotch.
I wasn't going to, but thank you. I
was
feel
weird.
like you're a little.
It was weird that Joey didn't, so he didn't. I'm like, well, obviously, one of the other two were going to mention it.
No,
now I can't stop thinking about it.
Do you want us to talk about it? Because that's what it seems like.
No, I don't want to think
I
about
sure
it.
hope nobody brings up Jai Courtney's crotch. It would really bother me if someone brought it up again.
So what did you think of Dangerous Animals?
I thought it was really good. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't see the trailer or anything. I saw it on Shudder, that it was on Shudder. I thought it was going to be, some crazy, gory, over-the-top type of movie. It felt like just a true thriller with horrorness in it. It wasn't like a horror film. It reminds me just of a good, like, killer movie. It was just really good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know I wasn't expecting that. I think the plot was amazing. The acting was great. It kept my attention the entire time.
What did you think of the sharks?
The sharks were pretty.
Some of them were some of the sharks were stock footage, and it was a little noticeable for me. Did anyone else have that problem?
Yeah,
I can't really shit on that because Jaws also has some stock footage of sharks, but there were a couple moments where I'm like, that looked like it was National Geographic.
I think I watched Screamboat right before this, so when you watch this after that, I'm like, this is so realistic. It's amazing.
Yes.
That is true.
Yes.
I had the same problem.
Same exact thing right here. So I thought the cage moment was beautiful with the two in the very beginning. It started off like
oh dude, that honestly that first kill was the grossest. The knife to the throat that actually gross.
And it was so
super uncomfortable.
And it was out of nowhere. I wasn't expecting it. It just started off with a murder, and I was like, oh shit. Yeah. I think the footage of the sharks and everything with the ocean. I love the line that the main girl says to him, saying, you're lower than a worm. You know what? You're toxic trash in the ocean.
Yeah.
I love her attitude. I loved how much she fought back. It fit her character really well.
Yeah.
It wasn't too crazy, too Final Girl-esque.
Yeah.
It just, even towards the end, there were so many little things that I wasn't expecting where you're like, oh, the movie's over. Oh, wait, now her foot's all tied up in the freaking note. Like, there was a few times of that. And I was like, it just kept my suspense the entire time, my entire attention.
Nice.
A+.
I think it pissed me off, especially because when she hit him with the pan and she dropped it, I'm like, take the pan with you.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's like cast iron. What are you dropping it for?
Well,
I got
I
all
mean, there's-
worked up.
Okay. So, Gil,
I
what
think
did you think of the movie?
I feel like they usually did a good job, actually, of like, I thought they were going to piss me off. I'm like, pick that up and hit him again. I'm like, well, he just got right back up and he's after you. So actually, the priority is running. Like, I thought they did a good job in general with pacing, where they found a way when someone's in captivity, like, you don't want it to be unrealistic where something is happening constantly because they're locked up, they're tied up, so of course there's going to be a lot of nothing. But I thought the movie did a good job of there's always something happening. There's always like, is an escape about to happen? Is Jai Courtney about to do something crazy? But I feel like overall, I've been watching a lot of horror movies recently, and when you watch a ton of them, a lot of them start to feel the same, and you start to see there's like two levels to a horror movie. There's the structure of like, okay, this is a killer captivity type movie, and you can make good ones and you can make bad ones, and part of that is just like painting within the lines, like the pacing and the characters, the cast. And I feel like this movie just fires on all cylinders there. Like Jai Courtney is great. I don't know the main actress's name, but she's awesome. All the stuff that you said, Crystal. Like when she's doing these really tough things, a lot of times they hurt and you can see the pain, but she's working through it. So it's never too
Oh my
easy.
god. Oh,
The hand-
Yeah, exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking
The
about.
handcuff
Yeah.
almost got me, but once you've seen Gerald's game, that handcuff scene will always be the most disgusting handcuff scene. Crystal, have you seen Gerald's game yet?
no.
Wait, you know what it is though, right? This
One where the
I
guy's
didn't
on the
see it.
bed or something.
I totally know what it is, but just say it again for anyone else listening.
It's based off a Stephen King story. Mike
Yeah.
Flanagan directed for Netflix. A couple tries to spice up their marriage. So the girl gets handcuffed to the bed, but then her husband has a heart attack and dies. And there's no one around for days. So she starts like going crazy. She has to figure out how to get her hand out of the handcuff. And what she comes up with is the most horrifying thing you could ever watch.
Oh, no. The most horrifying, no. What was it? 72, what was it? Something hours? Where the lady was, or
127
the,
hours.
127 hours.
yeah, where it was a guy or someone
Frankie,
was,
yeah.
in the,
Stuck on the rock,
Yeah.
That was a true story, so that one's even more fucked up.
to chew your, but isn't it
But he
true
didn't
your
chew
body
his arm
doesn't,
off.
Huh?
That's what
He
people
didn't
always say.
chew
Like
it
that
off.
boy, he chewed his arm off.
yeah. But isn't it true, like a lot of times your body just won't let you do that kind of thing?
Yeah, you have to. I think you have to go somewhere crazy in your mind to do that.
Yeah.
Real quick.
The crazy
before-
thing is with that guy, like it ended up being a good thing. He waited 5 days because he was so dehydrated. It like slowed his blood down, so he didn't bleed
Yeah.
out right away.
My favorite story with that is that back when the Howard Stern show was good, the real life guy went on the show and talked about the experience. And he's like, and I kept imagining this little boy, and I was like, that's my future child, and I have to live for them. And then Artie Lang is like, well, the whole time he told that story, all I kept thinking was like, what if this guy's kid turns out to be an asshole? I was just like, he laughed
Fucking already lag. Jesus
so
Christ.
hard. Anyway, Dangerous Animals. One thing I like about it is like, it's probably the most unique shark movie I've ever seen because like
Yep.
the sharks aren't really the threat. I mean, there's plenty of shark movies where it's man is the real killer, but usually the sharks are doing most of like, you know, the attacking and whatnot. But no, the sharks are just like another weapon he kind of uses. But yeah, he's got like an infatuation with them because he was he was attacked by a great white, I think, and he survived. And he hates his mom. They never really tell you what was going on there. Something about hating his mom made him want to get women and throw them in the water to the sharks.
He said
It
he
was,
grew up very alone, so I don't think either of his parents were in the picture. I think he just was off on his own, doing his own thing. I don't
Well, it
think his
seems like he
parents cared
really
about him.
wanted to do it to women. He did it to the guy just for whatever, but
Yeah,
Well,
it
and
was
there
a
was that-
sexual thing.
And there was that moment where like he doesn't realize how screwed up he is because when he's
Yeah.
got the guy with him, he's like, I know you say you don't want to look, but man, I know you want to look. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
thinks we're all like this, you know?
yeah. I do love that he's recording everything on VHS. And she throws the camera at one point, and there's like a whole subplot where he has to go to a thrift store and get a new.
It is like
VHS.
it's such a serial killer thing where he
Yeah.
has this fixation of like it has to be VHS.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna
Yeah.
be tough to find another camera today that can do that.
It'd be easier to get like mini DV or high 8. It's hard to like find players for those. I don't want to give advice to potential serial killers out
Well,
there.
and it won't fit right on the. It's like when Simpsons changed the type of box they used for their box sets. It won't fit right on the shelf.
Which I have. I have that
It's so
season
true.
5 or
I know
season
that.
6 box set, which is a fucking nightmare. Because then they went back to the original style. It's like, you assholes.
That's the one aspect of Jai Courtney's character you can relate to. Otherwise,
Yes. Well, come on, Gil. You're telling me I don't relate to this? Come on. I look
Is it
exactly like him.
Is it a crazy horror like killer if he's not going around dancing in his underwear? Like, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
That really did feel like let's give him a Silence of the Lambs dancing moment. There's really
I
no
liked
reason for him to be
I feel
dancing.
like Joey is taking notes for what to be doing at the next when the next live stream starts.
All right,
Yeah.
you can switch the slide, Tony.
Zoom up? I don't know if I can.
You want to get okay?
All right, Dangerous Animals. If you have Shudder or AMC Plus or whatever, I highly recommend it.
Yes.
It was really, really solid. House on Eden, a movie about two horror YouTubers doing their ghost adventure show. This is so we had two Nazi things in a row, and now we have two YouTube ghost things in a row. Played by real life horror YouTubers and influencers. One Call Me Chris and Selena Spooky Boo. I guess they got popular enough to do a movie. They got way more followers than all of us combined. Holy shit. I didn't know anything about this until Crystal kept telling me about it and then demanded it be put on the list. And I took Pumpkinhead off the list for this one. But yeah, this is a Shudder exclusive. It's about them looking for a place called House on Eden, a alleged haunted house, although there's not much information. So they go out there with their cameraman. They find the House on Eden in the middle of the woods. It's abandoned, but it looks really, really nice. And they start doing ghost adventuring stuff, and they encounter creepy poltergeists, and it leads to a larger conspiracy. Joey C, I think you're the only one other than Crystal who watched this. What did you think?
You know, surprisingly, I actually thought it was pretty good. I knew nothing about it. You changed this movie and sent me the list, and I said, all right, I guess I'm watching this. It was basically like if you ever watched Watcher or BuzzFeed Unsolved with Ryan and Shane, it was basically that in a movie if stuff really happened. And I didn't know they were influencers. So the black-haired girl, I was like, oh, she definitely looks familiar. And then I found out she's a YouTuber. But it really just felt like the latest Hell House movie with the Carmichael Manor, where it's like, oh, they have cameras. They find a mansion or whatever. They go inside and spooky shit starts happening. Very cliche. But it was fun. I love found footage movies. It really has to be bad for me not to like it as a found footage movie. It kept me entertained, but it was very cliche. So if you don't want a cliche movie, this checks every found footage cliche ever.
Well, don't worry, we'll be free of cliches when we get to Shelby Oaks.
I feel
Crystal,
like they would be like, could you said you liked it? And you're like, but it's got to be really bad for me not to like it. Like, could you stop? Stop complimenting us.
so Crystal, as the person who recommended this, did this live up to expectations? What did you think?
I think it lived up to what I was expecting. I think so. I knew this was their first movie. I like their content. I really like Chris's content. She Call Me Chris. I saw her a couple times on TikTok. I thought she was funny, and then I went to whatchamacallit, the boxing. Why am I forgetting the name? Was it Johan?
Oh, Creator Clash?
I went to Creator
The
Clash.
first Creator Clash one, that scam that you guys were all participating in.
I didn't, but anyway. So I met Chris at Creator Clash, and I went up to her because I was like, hey, because there were so many different influencers there too, YouTubers, and she was actually really chill. Okay. And I was like, I love the fact that you're actually super chill and you seem to be like the actual realist one here. And her content is fantastic. I think her content is absolutely hilarious. She does these great characters. She's funny as hell. I like Selena as well. She's very spooky. She loves the spooky vibe. They actually do their own paranormal YouTube videos as well, which I like. Love the paranormal investigation. So what they're doing is they're using real equipment as well. And since I've been on, being on a real investigation is mind-blowing and definitely changes a lot of things, especially when you're watching this kind of stuff too. So I really appreciate that watching it. I think they did a great job for their very first time. If you watch their content, it feels like you're just hanging out with them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I like the fact that Joey liked it and doesn't know who they are or has ever seen their
No,
stuff.
I'm glad you said that. So, first off, can you plug that ghost hunting channel you're on? Because I'm going to feel bad if you don't plug the ghost hunting
Hometown
channel.
Ghost Stories.
Hometown Ghost Stories. There you go.
Great show. They talk about ghost stuff, but then they also like different ghost stories, but then they also go on paranormal investigations every so often. They are legit. They will, if something goes wrong, like when we were in the one house and the lights turned off then back on, it shows us kind of freaking out, but later they say they debunked it, that it was actually the caretaker of the house actually accidentally turned the lights on. So they straight up say it when it's not real, which some people don't do.
So for this movie,
Hometown Ghost Stories is fantastic. Check them out.
So for this movie, me not knowing who any of these people were, Joey, you're right. It is kind of cliche. I feel like it took way too long for the horror to start.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it was like real subtle horror, and then the movie was done. But I wasn't annoyed because I will say the two actors have very good chemistry with each other. You could tell they're really friends, and they were funny and charming. And I actually felt bad. I'm like, I feel like I would appreciate this so much more if I was a fan. But I'm just like, but I am liking this. I'm liking them together. And like, I guess I didn't mind the cliche part of it because they were so entertaining. But it wasn't even like, because they're funny, but it's not like really a comedy. So when the ending shifted into horror, like the scares were good. The twist was fine, but I don't know. It didn't quite stick the landing for me, but I would see something else they make again. Again, this is the first one. They're just fun. I actually will probably subscribe to their channel because I actually enjoyed them, like making fun of each other.
Yeah, I already did. Yep.
Yeah.
No, so I think they did a great job. I forget what I was gonna say.
Which one did you meet? The one that's on screen right now, or the
blonde, the blonde one,
or redhead.
Yeah, the one in the middle, her to the left. Yeah, talked to her. She absolutely hilarious. Like she was the first one.
Joey,
most of their script. Yeah,
Joey, here's her calling Ed Gein slop.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with her on that. It's just slop. Oh God, get that stuff out of there, man.
So yeah, most of their script for this movie though it was improv.
Yeah,
it was like super rough idea of what they were going, and I think they filmed it in a week, and I think they only spent $10,000.
I love the fact that the budget was.
Yeah, I think it was $10,000. I tried to quickly look it up to see all this stuff after I watched it.
No, I love.
But yeah, I love the fact that Shudder took this. Like the fact that Shudder was like, yeah, let me take this independent film that was super low budget. I love that.
My mustaches just keeps falling off. No, it was solid. It was a fun, charming time. I want to see what else they can do. The scares were good. Again, like I said, they just came a little too late, and then there was like a big twist, and the movie was just done. And again, it was another one of those, I'm like, kind of seen this all before.
Yeah.
Feels very familiar, but that's when real compelling character can help you overlook those cliches. Maybe we can all agree on VHS Halloween.
I was wondering about the last one. I forgot about we watched this. So many things to say.
Yes. This, I think, is maybe the third or fourth VHS movie we've covered. We still need to cover some of the early ones. But this has been fun. Every year we kind of get a VHS movie around this time. I like that it's become like a seasonal thing. Joey, before you get into this, I want you to know.
Yeah.
Not just for the screening of this movie, but all season long, not one cricket in this basement. If you guys were here last year, you might remember the clip. Me and Joey had to watch VHS Beyond with a cricket just screaming for all 2 hours of that movie.
Dude, and it was like 3 a.m. and we're fucking dead tired. And this cricket is loud as fuck. Dude, we couldn't stop fucking laughing about it.
But yeah, so this one, now they're all trying to be themed. They were kind of themed off of like years. But now the last one was supposed to be like spacey kind of sci-fi.
Yeah.
But then they put that weird dog one in. I'm like,
I forgot about that.
That was so bad.
That
was dumb.
I was gonna say that is sci-fi. That's a little Frankenstein-y, but everything else seemed extraterrestrial. Then you got to that one, you're like, how does this fit the rest of them? That doesn't make any sense.
It's dumb.
This one, I'm not familiar with a lot of the writers and directors of this. Because the last one had like a bunch of really famous ones. Although one of them is the co-creator of Wreck, the found footage films Wreck.
Oh yeah.
I think you can tell which one his is going to be. So yes, let's talk about the framing device in VHS Halloween. The Phantasma soda. It's a soda made of ghosts, I think. And they're testing out a ghost soda, but it keeps killing and possessing all their subjects. I think the framing devices in these have been getting worse and worse. Joey, how did you feel about Phantasma?
Yeah, I completely agree. The quality of them have gone down significantly.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really follow this one. Like I was just waiting for them to be over so it would go on to the next like section of the movie.
Yeah. And real disappointing. And because the original one used to be people would find a place full of tapes or movies and it would play the stuff. And then they started having like this weird narrative. Like the one was like this, the one felt like this, where the scientists were studying some weird organism that took them all over at the end. And the last one was like the corridor crew of like special effects guys studying an alien tape. At the end, it was kind of a letdown. They've all been kind of letdowns. Gil, how did you feel about the Diet Phantasma?
I liked it at
device?
first. I was like, this feels like a very 80s thing, like a Return of the Living Dead type thing, where you take a super ridiculous idea and then you've got like somebody taking it really seriously. We need to put more Phantasma in these drinks. But it was really repetitive. It was just take a drink and then something crazy happens. Take a drink and now two crazy things happen. So there was just no punchline to it. So I thought it was good at first, but it didn't go anywhere.
How are they getting the ghosts in the soda? I was real confused.
I don't think that's what it is.
I mean, it literally says like 100% pure
poltergeist.
Poltergeist,
yeah, that's what
soda
it was,
made of
yeah.
poltergeist. Mike, what did you think of this?
Didn't watch it.
Cool. Crystal, what did you think of the Diet Phantasma framing device?
I will say the same of I was waiting for it to be over. It was kind of confusing as it was going, and of course by the end it feels like that they're just waiting for the right person to drink it for them to actually become possessed and take over. To be in a commercial, like it was not my favorite. It was a little too confusing. I think if they had a better premise of what was actually happening, it wouldn't have been so bad or confusing.
And again, it reminded me of the 80s one where the scientists were studying the organism and things got crazier. So that's my problem with this one. We're going to get into it. A lot of these segments feel a little too much like previous VHS segments, including the very first one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, there you go. There's the commercial at the end. The first one, which is Coochie Coochie Coo.
Yes, the Mommy Milker one.
Written and directed by Anna Zlakovic. I'm not familiar with her. This tells the story of two girls hanging out on Halloween. I had to remember the holiday as if the movie doesn't have it in the title.
Wow.
They're way too old to be trick-or-treating. They get warned that a witch is going to come after them. They're being assholes. They're filming it. They find a house. And so they find what they think is a normal house, and then they think it's a cool, interactive, haunted house, which is kind of like the last segment of the first VHS movie. The twist is the witch is real, and she's trying to kidnap them and turn them into weird adult babies.
Yeah, a lot of milking in this.
She was creepy. I liked the first little moment where she's like, Coochie Coochie Coo, and she's like hiding. But again, it felt like the ending of the first one, just not as interesting. Actually, no, it feels a little bit like the stork one from the
It does from Beyond. Yeah, absolutely.
It's like a mixture of the stork one and the last one from the first VHS, which also wasn't Halloween, about people thinking they're in a haunted house. Gil, did this one work for you?
No, I mean, I would say actually
Sorry, I meant to
similar
say
to
Joey C. I skipped right to Gil, but Gil, continue.
I'd say similar to the wraparound. I thought started with a fun concept. I think like in terms of exploiting childish things that become creepy when they're in like an inappropriate setting, Coochie Coochie Coo is a good one because you're like, I never thought about it, but that sounds really weird. And
Yeah.
it's usually the thing you say before you start tickling someone. So when it comes from like a weird witch lady, it's creepy. But then this just falls into the same pattern of like so many VHS segments, which is there's a weird thing and then it kills everybody. And I thought the baby faces were too goofy to me to be scary. A lot of these segments, I think, were also trying to be kind of darkly comedic. So then it's just a question of like, does it make you laugh? And I thought this one mainly went for gross out humor, which just generally doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, this one didn't work for me overall. There was also a very obviously AI generated image of a pregnant woman, which was meant to be like the tragic backstory of this lady. And I was like, it really doesn't. I'm not even saying like that's not ethical, but it's just distracting when I'm like, I've seen a million images from ChatGPT like
Be
that.
careful accusing things of AI because there's been this thing right now where people are accusing things of AI and then artists have to like show their work and be like, no, I actually worked on
Yeah,
this.
that's fair. That's fair enough.
AI does steal from artists. So it's kind of like this.
Look at that image though, and you tell me. I
looked
usually
bad.
don't throw that around.
Here's the thing, Gil. I wouldn't be surprised if it was
Well, okay,
AI.
let me put it this way. If it was drawn by a human, then my criticism is that it looks the way that it does.
That's fair. That is fair.
Now, Joey C, do you want to throw any accusations at this segment?
No, I won't do that. I don't want to get canceled. I can't afford to get canceled. In fact,
Hey, is that a cancelable offense now?
No.
I'm not sure, but it could be. And I want to cover my bases. I will say the first thing that I thought of when I started watching this segment was, God damn, the acting is bad. And I just think that's like the nature of like all found footage movies. It's like the acting is just like rarely that good. But fans of Hack the Movies will rejoice in knowing that Mommy Milkers makes a big appearance in this.
This is the ultimate mommy milker.
Exactly. And I will say the one thing that did creep me out, well, two things actually: the adult bald baby that really spooked me out, and two, when the witch snapped to the girl's like spine or ribs or whatever.
Oh yeah,
that creeped me out. Any bodily injury like that scares the fuck out of me. I think this one did work for me. I know what VHS is, and I know what they've evolved to. And in my head, I just imagine that they all know that they're not really taking it that seriously. They're just trying to like top what the person before them did in the previous VHS movie. So
yeah,
I loved it. You couldn't make me hate VHS. I suppose you could. Please don't try.
A lot of people hate Viral, but even Viral has good moments. But
I like Viral. Yeah.
Mike, I know you didn't watch it, but does this one sound spooky, scary to you?
Yeah, it's kind of selling me.
Okay. Crystal, what did you think of this one?
I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It felt definitely a little cliche. As soon as I saw the guy as the baby, I definitely thought of unfortunate fetish videos that people have showed me. So that's exactly what I thought of almost this entire time. So
the adult baby fetish. Yeah, that's a thing. That's the thing.
Oh, I know. I had someone
the diaper
show
fetish,
me,
or the diaper fur fetish. That's a whole.
Were you around when they were showing that?
No,
you know what I'm talking about?
No, I know what you're talking about, but Carl and other podcasts I know also cover those types of things. So I'm
there
very
was
aware.
a group of us one night, and someone wouldn't stop playing it over.
If I didn't
and
watch
over.
it there, I definitely seen it somewhere else. By the way, again, cliche derivative. That's like the theme of this episode, I think. The witch was a woman who they took away her baby, so she was gonna come back for babies. That's the plot of Mama. Remember that movie Mama with Jessica Chastain and the bad CGI ghost lady? Do you remember that one?
I heard of it. I didn't see
Is
it.
that the one Muschietti did before it?
Is it? Hold on. I think Del Toro produced it.
Yeah. Okay, that's it then. Yeah. Yeah,
Wait,
and
am
so
I-
like, the flute lady in it was based on he was like freaked out by a painting when he was a kid, and so Mama and that flute lady were both based off the same thing.
And Gil, it's Muschietti. It's Italian.
Yeah, but that okay, go ahead.
No, it's Italian for that's too much spaghetti. We went over this in the Flash review. Me and Frank, who are very Italian, we explained that to everyone. We even explained it to Trisha, who seemed confused at first, even though she speaks fluent Italian. She should know that Muschietti means that's too much spaghetti. But yeah, it was definitely reminded me of Mama. The
Is
premise.
this Am I mixing up? We've seen so many movies this month. I can't remember which one is which. Is this the one where they're saying that the lady was the Garden of, or no, that was House of
No,
Eden.
that was
That
House
makes
of
sense.
Eden.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I just had to say the name of it, and then I realized they're all fucking so similar. I can't keep track of them all.
Oh yeah, I forgot House of Eden had to tie into like the Lilith mythology.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
So,
then-
for the last one, though, I want to know, why was the girl hooked up to like a feeding
the
machine
milk?
of just milk?
Oh yeah, I don't know. Is that
Wasn't turned into a baby?
that was
Like
weird?
that was weird. The girl was just randomly wrapped up and force fed milk nonstop.
Maybe-
Well, that's how they become the baby. They
No,
No,
because-
because
happened
the
so
other girl
fast
became
with
the
the other
baby
girl.
real fast.
Yeah, the other girl turns into a baby so much faster.
Oh yeah, that's
Maybe
other
it
girl-
doesn't take some time, so you have to like force the process.
But the other girl too was just taken the year before. So I'm guessing someone was taken every Halloween by using that trick. So how long was that girl there for?
I don't know.
If the previous
I don't
girl
know.
was the girl in the cheerleading costume.
I don't know. Maybe that girl's lactose intolerant and the witch doesn't know how to deal with it. She just keeps forcing.
She's just force feeding her almond milk.
So did the witch have 6 boobs in life, or did she get that when she came back as a demon lady?
Demon lady, 6 boobs. Duh.
Yeah,
when you
I
become a
did.
demon lady, you automatically get 6 boobs. You
It's
should-
true.
That's
Yeah.
what happens when you use AI. You end up with 6.
Well, I'm sure everybody paused it and counted, as we all did, of course.
Well, I like how they
Wow.
set it up because first you see like the pump with like a 6, connection points or whatever.
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
what the hell is that?
When I saw that, I'm like, all right, this thing's gonna have udders.
Yeah.
So next up is this one is called Ut Supra Sic Infra.
Yeah, don't say it. Easy there. Don't answer a phone now that you just said it. Come on.
I know. This one is Spanish language. Again, it's directed by Paco Plaza, who did Wreck, which of course was remade as Quarantine in America, but the Wreck movies were very popular found footage films. This one tells the story of a bunch of kids on Halloween night. Well, actually, it's cops trying to figure out what happened to a bunch of kids on Halloween night, and they have this dude reliving what happened. They went into what I guess was a haunted room that had a black phone.
Yeah.
Is Ethan Hawke on the other side of this phone, Crystal? Is this
And
a
the guy
black
who made Black Phone did a Halloween VHS segment in a previous one,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I don't know if he did the Halloween one, but he definitely did.
No, not the Halloween one. Yeah, one
No,
of
no,
the
no. He
previous
did.
movies.
He did the '80s one.
Yeah, 84, I
Yeah.
think, right?
Yeah. So he read Ut Supra Sic Infra, which is as above, so below, and then the phone rings, and something really bad happens to everyone. And I'm just gonna say it now, guys.
Yeah.
This is the worst VHS segment of all time.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Who was the
Weird.
first
Weird
one to
that you
text
would
you
say
about
that.
this?
Yes, I know. Everyone gets their eyes ripped out.
Ooh, I don't know if you
Yeah.
can show that. It's
Dude,
demonetized.
I'll
graphically.
skip ahead. They all get pulled into the air by some demonic force, and the eyes get ripped out. And for some reason, this demonic force also possesses him to do it, and makes him eat the eyes, I guess.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So it's an eye.
Wait, why does
obsessed-
he eat the eyes if he's just going to spit them up later? And then he's
don't
going to eat
know.
more eyes. It just doesn't make sense, really, what this demon is up to.
But yeah, this demon.
The
It's a
demon's
very.
a little confused. Okay, it's a first time
Yeah.
demon. Okay, trying to figure out their thing.
It is very confused because it's like you got to read this thing that's upside down
And
and
the phone will ring.
and answer
like,
the
oh,
phone.
Yeah, but all these other cool demons have their own thing. So, like, what could this demon do?
This demon, if you
Yes.
say a word, if you say a phrase in Spanish on a wall and answer a phone, it can lift you in the air and rip your eyes out. I feel like Six Titty Witch Lady had way better powers
Yeah.
than this specific demon. I don't know how she got all lucky.
Well, I think kind of the whole bit of VHS with a lot of them is like, it leaves you kind of confused.
Mm.
It leaves a lot to the imagination. And that's what passed it for me on this one. I'm like, wow, it's just another VHS segment.
Mm.
I don't have all the answers in this short amount of time, and I'm just witnessing it.
So was this a win for you, Joey?
It was until they got sucked to the ceiling and I saw the most graphic eye gouging I've ever seen.
Oh, you
in a
saw that?
movie.
Please don't describe it. I had to
Yeah.
look away for that entire entire sequence.
Wait,
So I
Joe,
was-
can you remind me what exactly
No,
happened?
I don't think I want to, man. I had too many magic brownies,
just
and
don't
I was shaking on the
remember.
floor.
You know what? I got lucky with the first one because it's so far away, but then the other girls right next to the camera, I'm like, they're gonna just show
Oh my god,
that
Literally,
whole
they
eye
show
coming out.
everything.
Yes.
Oh my god.
And I just looked away. I did appreciate when the camera was back on the ground, all the bodies just collapsed. That was kind of fun.
that was fun.
Gil,
And I like how it flipped too, and he like walked on the ceiling. and
Yeah,
shit.
that
was
kind of
cool.
fun. Gil, was this a win for you, even though it was horrifying for me?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. I thought I feel like again, it's just kind of you meet some people, and what's the thing that's going to kill them? But I also found this one weird because the whole thing that keeps me watching is what's the crazy thing that's going to happen, and I'm almost like, what's the point in giving me these hints at the beginning so I at least know, well, all of his friends are going to die. And their eyes are going to get ripped out, and he's going to be the one to do it because clearly there was some kind of possession scenario. So I'm just sort of waiting to see what are the precise mechanics of it. And at that point, it was fun just to see the practical effects of how somebody does this. And it was a little bit creative, the idea that the whole place essentially flips and there's a door up there. So clearly it was sort of built for this. So I kind of liked it for just the magic trick at the end, just seeing the effect.
Okay. Mike, does this one sound super scary? Are you going to watch this one? Are you going to hide your eyes like me?
I don't think I'll hide my eyes, but I think it has like the only Hispanic on the show today. I at least got to watch that segment.
True.
Well,
I think
these
you're
these
right.
are these are Spain Spanish. Are you cool with Spain Spanish?
I mean, it's close enough, I guess.
That's like me with those Italians. They're all criminals, you know. Anyway, Crystal, how did you feel about this eye gouging scene? Are you in solidarity with me that it's terrible and it shouldn't have been in the movie?
I think there should have been more. I don't think there was
Wow.
enough. I thought this was pretty good. I thought it was filmed really well compared to a lot of the VHS segments that tend to happen. Acting was good, script was fine. I really enjoyed this one. As you knew what was happening, you knew what was going to happen, but like Gil said, it was fun to watch. So I liked it.
It just made me want to watch As Above, So Below, the superior found footage movie.
You know, I didn't watch that. I
That's
missed out
great.
on a lot of found footage stuff around that time because a lot of it was like, if it was in theaters, a lot of them were terrible.
Yep.
Can we do best found footage and worst found footage movie?
Crystal, that'll be
The goddamn long video.
Like our favorite, our top like favorite and our least favorite.
that still is just way too broad. They're making new ones all the time. We've reviewed a lot of them already. Like we've done all the Blair Witches and
All right,
Paranormal.
Tori,
You know,
forget I
you know,
said
people will
it.
do like my top 5 favorite movies of all time. You know, they're not like, well, there's so many, it can't be done.
Thank you,
I
Will.
can't do that. I hate being asked.
You
like, what I-
literally did top what? Treehouse Horrors?
yeah.
Well, you can
Those
basically
are there,
just
you
cut off
crazy?
like
Yeah,
after
because
the
you stopped
13th and all
watching
this.
after 10 years. And
I watch every
yeah,
year.
but found footage, Crystal, that's way too broad. They're always making more found footage movies.
Maybe there's one I like that you've never seen. That would be cool. I think it would be an interesting topic. But
And then
never
the
mind,
video
just don't
takes off.
listen to me.
You update it every year. You say, is it still the best?
Okay, listen. Again, the whole theme of the
Forget
night, the whole theme of the night, derivative, repetitive. Then we get to the fun size segment,
Jesus.
which is made by Casper
Oh my
Kelly, who's
God.
worked on a lot of animated stuff. He wrote for Cat Dog, which I think was underrated. But he also he's the co-creator. He's a co-creator of a lot of things, but he co-created the show Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell on Adult Swim. Has anyone ever watched Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell? Well,
A
Gil,
little
you're
couple
dressed,
episodes.
you're dressed like the devil. You would love it. It's basically if hell was like The Office. It's really, really funny, and I feel like no one talks about it. They had 4 seasons. It was hilarious. This movie, it's
Wait,
about
and he did
Why
Too
did
Many
you keep
Cooks.
it on this image?
you know what's funny? I've never watched Too Many Cooks, and it's been like 12 years, and I'm too afraid to watch it now because I've been out of the loop for so long. I don't even know what it's about.
It might be, you might feel a little bit like you missed the boat. Like this was really funny 10 years ago.
Everyone talked about it, and I said I should probably watch that, and then I forgot, and I just know I'm like I feel like it's going to be very dated. Anyway, fun size. A bunch of adults who are way too old to be trick or treating are out and about. and they find one house with a giant bowl of giant candy that's shaped oddly, but a sign that says, please only take one candy. They end up taking more than one, and then the fucking candy bowl sucks them into a candy factory
Well,
dimension.
how about you just talk about the first bite of the candy, the first candy we see.
We're looking at it right now.
Yeah.
Fucking gross. And they meet, I don't know if this guy has a name, Candyman.
Candy
Size.
Man.
His name is Fun Size.
Fun
His,
Size,
his
yeah.
name is Fun Size. That's all he says.
I don't know,
is
that's what I
Fun
assumed.
Size.
Wait, I thought the short one was fun size.
I don't
That would
know,
make
but
more
all
sense.
they say
But he's
is
king
Fun
size. He's got the crown. King
Yeah.
size
Oh, he's
and fun
king
size.
size and fun
Yeah.
size. That would make more sense.
So he brings them to his candy factory dimension and just tortures them, and one by one kills them in some horrifying ways, and then puts them on a conveyor belt to turn into candy. And it's so tongue-in-cheek and funny. There's this subplot where the girl knows her boyfriend's gonna propose to her and she wants to break up with him, and then he finally tries to marry her in the conveyor belt before he gets burned, and she goes, I don't. It's very witty and funny. And yeah, of course they get chopped up and their organs get turned into the candy, which then get repurposed back in the real world. I had so much fun with this one. I didn't really understand what was happening. I don't think I was supposed to. The mascot was just funny looking. It was great. Joey C, how did you, as someone who is fun sized, how did you feel about this?
You know, I appreciate that. I loved the whole scene when they get sucked into the candy bowl. That was so fucking cool.
By the way, that is very Adult Swim, that shitty effect.
You know, it's just, I thought it was gory when the guy goes through the conveyor belt. I didn't think I'd see like graphic body parts being turned into chocolate. That was an interesting experience.
Between this and I think the second episode of Peacemaker, I think this is the most penises that have been on something on our watch list in forever. But keep going.
Yeah, that's fair. This one hit for me in terms of what the fuck am I watching? Which admittedly it's been a while. Probably since last year's during the dog thing. The dog segment that Justin Long did or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the entire time I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? And that alone, I mean, it did its job. It's supposed to be outlandish like that. I fucking loved it. Oh
yeah.
my God.
Gil, how did you feel about Fun Size?
Yeah, I like this one because and going back to what I said before, I feel like so many of these segments are repetitive. You're kind of painting between the lines of there's a weird thing and it kills everyone. So if you're going to paint between those lines, the more creative you can be and the more fun you can have, I think the better off your segment's going to be. And I thought this one was creative and it was really funny. Like even when they find all the candy in the bowl, just the names of the candy. It's like Snippers and probably my favorite one, Fligs and Splips. And then this guy, I love this guy because he says everything with this authoritative tone when they're like, he's like, it looks like a dog. And they're like, well, all candy does. And he's like, it has veins. It's like the delivery is perfect.
Is he the one is he the fiance?
No, he's the pirate.
Oh, okay. I like when the fiance's like, I'm gonna save the day, like being very, very like obvious about everything.
Well, my other favorite part when he dies, and then his girlfriend, she just wants to go up. She's like, I'm just gonna get on the conveyor belt, and they have to like talk her out of it.
She ends up getting the worst at that. Death was really mean.
Oh my God.
Mike, does this one sound spooky, scary? Are you gonna watch this one?
Yeah, it kind of sounds like what you'd imagine, like the kids that happens like Willy Wonka when the kids get like sucked up.
I didn't even make the Willy Wonka coat.
That was where the idea came from. Actually, he was saying that like he was thinking of like a horror version of Willy Wonka, and then he was kind of like he wanted like a chocolate fountain, but like of blood. And he's like, obviously there were budgetary constraints. Which like honestly, my only complaint is that it takes place in a big empty warehouse. It would have been so much more fun if they could have filled it with like you imagine this guy has great like decorating sense. There'd be like weird candy everywhere, but you know it's a low budget. You get it.
Well, I will say, VHS movies in the past have spun off into other films. We talked about it when we did the first VHS Crystal. There was Siren and Kids versus Aliens. Was there? No, just those two. So I'm actually shocked more of these shorts didn't get turned into movies because some of them would be cool full length movies. I would watch a 10-hour long fucking Fun Size movie. That sounds
Oh
hilarious.
my god, yeah, same here.
Crystal, how did you feel about Fun Size?
The first few minutes, I hated it. I thought it was the dumbest shit, and I was like, "Oh my god, do I really have to sit and watch this?" And then I realized, especially with the pirate guy being that voice and the way he was speaking, I was like, I want to put my head through it while watching this. And then when they got to the candy, and then like he was biting into the candy, and I was like, "Oh, this is on purpose." Because some of the VHS segments that we watch, it's hard to tell if it's on purpose or not. And then you realize, like, oh no, this is bad on purpose. It's making fun of itself. I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious and gory and creative. And I'm a little nervous to know what happened to the little kid that got sucked in at the end. Like,
Oh
did
yeah.
that happen to him? And now is his body parts now candy? Because that's a little creepy.
There's a lot of kid violence in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
sometimes implied, other times not.
I'm
Yeah.
glad you mentioned kid violence. So, you know, we had some wacky segments so far.
Yeah.
Next up, the most
I
disturbing.
don't even want to talk about this
most
one. I hate
disturbing,
This one's
like,
so
fucked.
much. This is fucked up.
upsetting segment of all time. Kid print.
You know, it kind of pissed me off if you read like all these critic reviews about it. Nobody wants to take a stand on it. They're always like, it may go too far for some. And I'm like, what a cop-out statement to make.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I
This
want to
is
know who it
fucked
didn't
up.
go too far for, because I have a lot of questions for that person.
No, I mean, I'm fine with the segment. It was just the placement was very funny. Because like, so the first few are kind of whatever, and then you get this wacky, totally out of left field kid print, and then you get this very grounded, realistic, dark subject matter, and then it's bookended by another wacky one. I'm like, I'm all
It's
over
also the wraparound story also starts to introduce kids at this point.
Yeah,
Like, they
that's
start
true.
kicking the fence
Yep.
out. And so I don't know if that was planned that way or if it just worked out.
Well, Halloween is like a kid-oriented holiday.
Well, no, but I mean the movie makes a very clear turn where it's like we're killing adults. Okay, at this point now we're going to start killing kids. Like,
well, remember
graphically.
the first segment, it's adults that are being turned into kids. So yeah, there's this whole thing about like kids throughout the whole film, and the dangers of Halloween. But yeah, so this guy, he worries about kids, and he has a service called Kid Print. It's if kids ever go missing, there will be a whole video biography about them where you can find out all their information. This service seems a little weird. Did it seem weird to anyone else?
This is a real thing, though. You know, like
yeah.
it was big in the like late '80s and the
Oh, I
early
didn't know
'90s.
that was a real thing.
Yeah, like Blockbuster would do it, like all across the nation. You can go to a Blockbuster and they would ask questions just like this. I was reading these old articles like that were published in the early '90s talking about this, and they gave examples. And it was like, "What's your favorite movie?" I like the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
I
funny.
like the idea of this. I think it's pretty smart because it does give, updated images and what they were wearing, especially on Halloween and how they looked last minute.
It's so
in
funny.
case something happens. Yeah.
Did you guys have a parent that was constantly worried that someone would kidnap you? That was my mom.
Oh yeah, that was my mom.
It is
too.
funny now that you look back with statistics and stuff. Like they were all so paranoid of like strangers kidnapping. When you look into like kids who actually get kidnapped, it's usually like a family member or a divorced parent that kidnaps their own kids.
South Florida, it's all about trafficking.
Well,
South Florida is like
there is trafficking, but like
it's a lot of trafficking down here.
A majority of it, though, like a lot of the reports, it's like, yeah, dad's mad that the mom's keeping the kids, so the dad kidnapped the kid. And like, we're always told that it's like a stranger. Then you find out it's always like family members or someone close to you. That was never brought up to us as a kid. I'm like, I feel like we should have been a little let in that maybe someone we know might try this. But anyway, he has a service. He thinks he's helping. He is a little weird. They make a point to show you that he's like real into Halloween and everything. He's kind of a wacky, quirky guy. But everyone's on edge, including his wife and kids, because there's a killer going around targeting young children and murdering them and then just leaving their bodies like skinned and whatnot.
It is like, it's pretty funny at first. It's so over the top. Every time someone turns on a TV or radio, it's like Olivia was found chopped to pieces over here. And then it's like the parents are so worried. They're like, well, as long as we get the kid print, then you can go out. Then it's okay.
Yeah, it was like, not with this guy. All right. So yeah, the cops ask him for a recent kid's kid print. And he goes back to the office and he finds out that the killer might be coming from within his store. and he has to confront the fact that one of his employees is doing the murders, and it's like horrifying and disturbing, and the killer gets away with it at the end. Joey C, how'd you feel about Kid Print?
Yeah, Tony, I thought it would end up like the Say Cheese or Die Goosebumps thing where like their soul gets sucked into a camera. I can deal with that.
That would be
I can
great.
understand that.
Yeah.
And then, things are moving along. It's kind of creepy. And then it actually shows violence against kids. And I like wanted to turn it off. I was
Sounds like
this is
only your soul got sucked out.
clearly. This was fucked. If I ever rewatch this movie, I'm fast forwarding it. This
Yeah.
did not land with
Same.
old Joey C.
Use the
at
old
all.
Gil 3X trick.
I gotta make sure none of my friends with kids ever watch this. My mom,
No.
I talked about this on the show. I think the Lost Boys episode. My mom in the 90s watched that movie Eye for an Eye with Sally Field, where Kiefer Sutherland kills her daughter when she's at home. And for like a year or two, my mom thought someone was going to come and kill us. So I'm just like, whenever I see movies like this, I'm like, I have to make sure every mom I know doesn't watch this so they don't horrify their kids. Gil, how did you feel about Kid Print?
So I'm gonna try and take a nuanced view on it because I think some of the stuff I mentioned before, I actually do think was funny. I think at first it was playing it over the top and it wasn't showing any of the violence to the kids. And like the idea of, let me get this kid print and then I'll send you out of the house. It's okay. And then this guy just is so full of himself. He's like, I'm the town hero, And if I catch the guy who's killing all those kids on tape, I'll be even more of a hero. Like, I found that hilarious. And the way he just doesn't see, what is everybody so worked up about? And then I don't know why this one particular line cracked me up, but when he first gets back to the store and he hears all these kids screaming, and his I think it's the guy who works there, Bruce, is like watching the tapes of all these kids, and his reaction is, "What is this idiot watching back there?" And I'm like,
He's
"Is idiot
so
the word?"
oblivious.
I was like,
He takes them so long to figure out what's going on.
So I found it like darkly comedic for the first like few minutes. And then it's like there's a taboo in horror where you sort of imply violence to children, but actually showing it, it's just sort of cheating because it strikes a primal nerve in anybody watching it. And also because most filmmakers don't go there, we haven't been desensitized to it yet. So it's like, congratulations, you freaked everybody out by doing the thing. Yeah, well,
I mean, said yet.
It's funny because, for my 31 days of horror, I did notice I'm like, every day I kind of went more modern as I got closer to the end of the month. I was like, every time I turn on a movie, I'm watching kids getting slaughtered, and it gets more and more graphic each time. We're moving slowly from implied violence to like fully on screen. So it felt like too cheap and too easy to me. But I thought there was an idea here. Like it was satirical. It was funny until I thought it did go too far.
Yeah. But it's got a very dark ending too, where you're like, "Oh, that poor son of a bitch." And you're
Which
like,
I think that could have been funny if you hadn't seen everything that led up to it, because it's so obviously that guy. And so the fact that he's able to get away with it and then say to the camera, like, I'm going to keep the kid print program going, as if in any real world scenario he could do this again and continue to get away with it.
Yeah.
It's all so absurd. It wasn't played tongue in cheek enough for me.
It reminded me, like, closest I felt like this was Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, which is like so disturbing, but he just gets away at the end. Michael Rooker, by the way, who was in Peacemaker. The end of that movie where he just gets away, and then when I was watching Kid Print, I'm like, oh my god, he got away! Oh no, Mike. Does this sound spooky, scary to you? Are you excited to watch?
I am good on this one. I can watch fucked up horror movies. I can watch eye injuries, but I draw the line on kids. I can't.
All right. Well, Crystal, how did you feel about Kid Print? Are you starting your own Kid Print business to save everyone?
Absolutely not. There are a lot of films where kids do get killed and stuff like that, but it's
usually not
different
as
than
graphic.
this.
It's
It's
usually
not as graphic, or it's clearly super fake or over the top, like Terrifier's over the top. Or you see it quick. This is like if the kids in Saw, like it happened, like it just, it was disturbing. It was so disturbing with the kid. And like also you saw the slicing.
Yeah.
Like I thought weapons had slicing. Okay, fine. That was like, ugh. But when it's kids being brutally murdered in a Saw-like fashion, it's like, to me, it reminds me of like Serbian film that I will never watch, just being shock factor for shock factor value. Like there's nothing decent about it.
Even not just the actual violence, but even the scenes where the guy's just like sticking the camera in their face and it's like a 3-year-old, like, please leave me alone.
Yeah.
And like just really selling it. I'm like, this is just gross. Like,
dude, the one where he's like talking about like Nintendo with the kid. He's like, you want to come back to my place and play Nintendo? That's what our parents told us. All the bad guys were going to do to us.
They also said that they would give us free drugs. I'm still waiting.
Yeah,
No one's ever gave me free drugs.
No, our parents totally dropped the ball on that one. It's like, no one's giving away free shit.
no. But I always told my parents, if you don't want me taking candy from strangers, give me more candy.
By the way, just looked up
drugs.
I had a weight problem as a kid.
I just looked up this director. He's a local boy.
Really?
He's watching this right now. He's like,
Tell
screw you
him not
guys.
to make that
Grew up
again.
in Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. That's 40 minutes away from me. I should be his friend.
You should
I
be
don't-
careful.
No,
He's gonna
no.
kiss print you.
Yeah. I think like he
Should I
might
do
have
Kid Print the full
No.
length movie?
No.
Ew. Oh my god.
I
Okay,
think
so-
make some adjustments to the concept.
Mm.
No. Let's do the fun size movie and then we'll think about this
Thank
one.
you. Thank you.
No, but Kid Print was pretty fucked up. I didn't mind it. Like, I know it really was a little too far for you guys. Gil,
You didn't mind it,
Gil,
Tony?
some of this might go a little too far. But no,
So I'm gonna
No,
watch
I
it
was
again
really-
right now, guy.
Tony, give me another reason why you shouldn't be around children.
it was
Go
very
ahead.
disturbing. But like, it was meant to be disturbing, and I know it's actors. The kids aren't dead in real life. Like, fucking
Yeah, but
relax.
it hits. I don't
That's
know,
the
it kinda
dumbest
hits home a
argument.
little
I
bit.
saw the same thing in my comments. Somebody was like, actually, I think I saw him in here earlier. You might have been in the chat. The good guy in the story, not the bad guy.
Yeah.
But he was like, okay, good boy. Does the dog die in this movie? I'm not going to answer that here. And someone's like, hey, good news, boys and girls. Movies aren't real. And I'm like, yeah, but if movies didn't have an emotional impact on you as though they were real, we wouldn't bother to watch them. That's the
Yeah, I
whole
know.
point.
I know, but like the kids he was
Well, I'm not
killing,
talking
like,
to you. I'm talking to that guy.
The kids
I
he was
know.
killing, we only
Don't
ever
talk to
see
that
like
guy.
5 seconds of them, and then they die. And I'm like, I didn't have an investment in that thing.
Next, you're going to tell me that wrestling's not real, like that WWE's not real. Like, calm down.
Crystal,
Yeah,
Crystal.
that's true.
I mean, you should know that it wasn't real because you had better seats at WrestleMania than I
Hey.
did, and you would see
Hey.
that.
I did. Did you
Don't
see
ruin me, guys.
anything, Tony, from where you were sitting? Did you see
Yes,
anything?
except for that one part where the light was shining on our area, we could blinding all of us. God damn
Oh,
it.
it blinded everyone. Did you hear the? I don't.
Yeah, we were
I don't
all
think you
saying
hear
turn the
chat on
light
the
off.
show. Turn those lights off. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was too
Um,
bright.
But yeah, Kid Print, very, very disturbing. Again, if you're a parent, don't let your girlfriend watch this. Skip over this scene. Next up, what is this one called?
Home Hunt.
Home Hunt. This is a story of a dad who puts on a local haunted house, which is something
I love this one.
this is something I would love to do. But no one comes here trick-or-treating. I'm not even decorating this year. I'm gonna leave a bowl of candy out because it's not worth it. No one comes here.
You did something creative last year.
Yeah, last year you had a bunch of shit going.
Last year it was very minimal. The year before
You
I
did
went
something cool.
No, the year before I went all out and just no one came. Like 2 kids came. I'm like, it's just not worth it.
That's wild.
They probably
would-
saw
That's
you.
fun
You're
for
staring out the window.
decorating.
Where are the kids? Any kids out there yet? Like that creepy Wario
Dude, I
guy.
put like
No.
an inflatable screen. I project old movies. I
That's
try
really
to make
cool,
it
actually.
I try to make it fun, and then everyone else on the block turns their lights off, so none of the kids come to this block. Like, oh,
No.
cool. So this family does something that I would love to do one day, which is a big hunt, but I can't do it here. And we get to see them from the year prior, and they're having a lot of fun. Then it's a year later, and the kid's older now. He's not into it. And he's just begging, the dad's just begging his son to like get excited about it. The mom kind of forces him to go along with their Dr. Mortis House of Horror. they buy stuff for the house and they find this record saying, "Listener beware, he invokes the song of Sam Hain on All Hallows Eve. Let's loose the riders of hell." And
And before anybody complains he mispronounced it, in the movie they say Sam Hain.
yeah,
We all know it's Samhain.
it is funny. I watched Halloween 2 and 3 back to back 2 nights in a row for the Halloween night at the Mahoning Drive-In. And it's funny because Donald Pleasant says Sam Hain, and then in Halloween 3 the bad guy says it correctly. Like, that's funny.
Yeah.
Like, clearly one knew and the other didn't. So he finds this record and he plays it, and it brings all the decorations and stuff in his haunted house to life. And oh, guys, look away! A kid's being killed by a witch lady. I know that upsets all of you.
We're going to thread the needle, though. This was really over the top. That she's not begging for her life.
Yeah.
No, she is begging for her life. Look at her. She's being
For like a
thrown into a
second.
cauldron by a green witch.
By a witch, not by like a killer that would actually exist in the real
Yes,
world. Like,
thank you.
Yeah. By the way, makeup effects are great. You get a
So
cameo.
good.
I forgot to get a picture. We get a cameo from makeup effects legend Rick Baker. Just shows up. He gets his head cut off. or
not
something.
only that, he inspired the whole idea for this sketch because
Okay.
a couple of friends of his live in the same neighborhood. He puts on home haunts.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what gave them the idea. And then he was like, "You got to put
That's
me in
awesome.
it."
That is
Oh,
awesome.
that is
That's
cool
really
as
cool.
shit.
Because I saw him and I'm just like, wait, that's Rick Baker. What is he doing here? But this one is fun. This is a fun one that would be a big movie. Actually, Logan was telling me apparently Netflix had a kids movie that was like a kid version of this, The Curse of Bridge Hollow, where decorations come to life. This is like the R-rated version of that. But I would like to see a full movie like this where all the decorations come to life. Because this is, for me, this is like a test reel for that movie. I had a lot of fun with this one. Especially the end where the witch, the very generic green witch, just comes to life and is just flying around with the camera, just knocking people over and stuff. It
Well,
was
more
great.
than that, she's ripping people's heads off. And
Yeah.
eviscerating them.
Fucking people up.
She knocked a couple of people over, I think. She really ruined their night.
Joey Seagal, what did you think of Home Hunt?
Well, you know, I was so fucked up from the last insert that this one I was like just trying to get back into enjoyment of this movie that it really like fucked with me. I was still thinking about the last one. I could not enjoy this one. And I honestly think I need to rewatch it because I was so
You do.
tainted from the last one that this one just felt like at this point I'm over the movie. I'm like, all right, the movie's done. It's almost 2 hours, which is one of the longer VHS movies. I'm out of here. So just finish it up. I just thought it was way too generic.
I was picturing Joey's like, "I'm going to try watching this Home Hunt again." And then he accidentally watches Kid Print again. He's like, "No!"
I'm like, fuck.
Joey, I would watch this by itself. Watch this one by itself.
Yeah, I'm going to
Yeah.
because I was not having fun at this point. in the movie.
Gil, how did you feel about Home
No, this
Hunt?
was easily my favorite one. Maybe
Yeah.
Fun Size is right behind it, but it was the most Halloween of all of them. Literally all the decorations come into life. And not only that, this is the only one where the characters actually fight back against the monsters.
Yeah.
So there's some degree of like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, are they going to get out? Are they not going to get out? And it was just in terms of the magic tricks, you know, like in the some of the other ones, it's usually building up to one big thing at the end. But here, it's like each room reveals another fun effect that they unveil. So it was just such a fun one to end on, and favorite one in the bunch.
Nice. Mike, does this one sound spooky, scary? Are you excited to see this one?
This one seems fun. This one seems like it's worth checking out more than the fucking.
I'll give you the time code to skip
Okay.
to once Kid Print starts. Crystal, how did you feel about Home Hunt?
I love this one. I thought it was great. I think it was filmed really well. I think the acting was great. I honestly, it almost took me out of the VHS world because I thought it was so well done. I think the story was really, really cool. The premise, everything about this, I loved. Everything about it.
Nice. Yeah, it was a good one to end on. Well, the ending was the phantasm thing, but it was a good one to end on. Overall, it gets a while to get going, this one. And some of them are a little derivative. The framing device, the first two segments are kind of whatever. Once you get to Fun Size, That's when the fun really starts. I mean, kid print in the middle.
Yeah,
But
there
no,
was two. There was two good ones.
Yeah.
no, I
They're kind
honestly
of dancing around like it takes a little while to get going, and then it goes for a little, then it kind of stops, and then it goes for
no, but you get fun size, kid print, and home hunt. I think make the whole thing worth it.
Take out that middle part, please. Just great.
Well, it's effective. It's at least look.
Yeah.
I know it's effective, but like it works. It's not bad. The first segment again just feels like a couple previous segments strung together. But
you
no,
see how sometimes he gives benefit of the doubt. It's on purpose, and then he'll just randomly just turn on a movie. It's derivative. I've seen this before.
I don't know. It's all about the execution, Gil. Sometimes something derivative can be good, and I enjoy it. And
You
then
know what it is?
sometimes I'm
It's
like,
that he's Wario tonight. If he was Mario, we'd be getting some like more
oh,
logical.
God damn it, I did this the whole time without wearing the gloves. I knew something was off. I was
Oh,
so
you're
worried.
Wario. I had no idea.
I
until
was
you
so
put these
worried
gloves
about the
on.
mustache
the
not
plumber.
being on right.
Oh,
Guys, I looked
I-
like an idiot this whole stream until now.
I didn't know who you were, Tony.
I wasn't really selling the costume because the gloves weren't on.
That's true. I didn't even know you had gloves.
Also, it's a little inaccurate. I couldn't get purple overalls in time. And I don't think Wario wears a lidocaine pouch because he slept weird. Anyway, overall, I enjoyed VHS Halloween. I really am rewatching the VHS movies less and the newer ones. I rewatch them less and less. The first like 4 I watch pretty often. I really enjoy them. But yeah, I probably should binge them at some. What number is this? This is like 8, right?
8, yeah, I think this
8,
is
yeah.
8, yeah.
I love that it's become an annual release. Like
No, I
even
do
if
too.
they're hit
I
or
do
miss,
too.
it's just you never know what you're gonna get. It's such a fun thing to look forward
And
to.
because it is anthology, I mean, it could get stale if the stories end up sucking. But it's not like Saul used to come out every Halloween or these franchises that were all Halloween. It's like, okay, how many times are we gonna watch the same shit over and over again?
Yeah. Well, it's like every franchise wants to do this. John Carpenter, it's like Halloween's going to be an anthology. Sean Cunningham, Friday the 13th anthology. And the studio's like, no, we like making money. So, yeah, but VHS, they're doing it. I love it.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for the review segment of the show. Good Boy, Shudder original, Good Boy, starring Indy. As if that's a celebrity that we're all supposed to know.
Oh, it's the director's dog, so it should be.
A dog that has now been nominated, not for like one of the good award shows. He got nominated for some award, and all I could think about is being some sorry fucking actor who loses to a dog. I was up for, I don't know, a Saturn Award or whatever. Who'd you lose to? I lost to a fucking dog. It doesn't even know what a movie is. Yes, this is the latest movie about a dog called Good Boy. I think there's several. When I was doing a Google image search, other movies were coming up. This is a horror movie about a dog who goes out to the woods with his owner who's suffering a chronic like lung disease. I don't think they ever say which one. But he's gone to his grandfather's cabin or whatever in the middle of the woods. He's kind of secluded. And the dog doesn't really know what's going on because, again, it's a dog. He knows the owner is very different. And while there, they encounter a supernatural presence, which is, it's implied that this presence also came for the guy's grandfather who went insane and was filming himself all the time. Played by Larry Fazenden, who's in a bunch of horror stuff. He was involved in the Until Dawn games. You see his face more than anyone else in this movie because they do this fun thing where they just don't really show a lot of the adult's face because it's all kind of from the dog's point of view.
And dogs can't look up, so of course they wouldn't see our
we all learned from Shaun of the Dead that dogs can't look up. But yeah, so the whole movie is this dog trying to protect his owner from this supernatural force and try to understand what's going on with his owner. And yeah, it stars Indy, the dog. I actually dug this one. It was short and sweet. I got it. Like, I think I understood what this movie was really about, Gil. I'm sure you'll explain. But the whole supernatural entity I kind of had an issue with because I'm like, all right, well, if it is a real supernatural entity, which I think it is because it happened to the grandfather and stuff, like, what are the rules of it and what is it trying to do? That really confused me. But I enjoyed the scares. I enjoyed the acting from the dog. And I enjoy like the whole message that it was saying at the end. But Joey C, how did you feel about this one?
I think this was probably by far the standout movie for this month for me.
Really?
Personally. I genuinely can't wait to watch it again. I'm not a dog person. I have cats, so dogs scare me. But wow,
look at this picture. How terrifying.
Dude, that's scaring me. I'm short.
Why are you so sweaty, Joey?
I'm like, oh God. Great tensions, great scares. I was genuinely afraid for the dog a lot during this movie, which I've only ever felt during the second Quiet Place sequel, or was that the third one or the second one? I can't even remember. I don't even know. But they had those scenes with the cat in it.
That was the day one, the prequel. Yeah,
the day one. Yeah, that's what it was. And I'd never thought I'd feel that again in a movie. I felt it in this movie a lot. And the Mudman, if you will, very terrifying. I love the idea of like that being a commentary of like, one, how loyal animals are, and two, dogs can like smell or notice sicknesses in their owners,
which I think is bullshit. But
yeah, that's fair. I'm not a dog, so I couldn't tell you.
Whenever I hear stuff like dogs are able to sense stuff, or even some stuff we know about animals, like gorillas doing sign language, turns out that's bullshit. Dolphins being smart is kind of bullshit, and dogs sensing things, I think, is bullshit. But keep going.
No, I have a couple of brain cells myself.
Glad
so
I got that out there.
Yeah, I'm a scientist. I understand this stuff. The behind the scenes of this movie to me is what makes it so fucking fascinating. So I fucking love this movie, and I'm waiting for Gil to tell me what it was really about, because I don't really understand movies that well.
So Gil, what did you think of this film?
I think I agree with most of what you guys said. I think it's very enjoyable from a, look at him standpoint, especially if you are a dog person, which I am, and just technically impressive. Like you said, Joey, all the behind the scenes stuff, the fact that they were able to stitch together a coherent performance, and it took a lot of patience. They filmed it over the course of, I think, 3 years, filming like an hour a day with Indy.
Well, because they only had one dog. Usually you would have multiple dogs.
Right.
For one role. But yeah, one dog, that sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, but I think it was fun. There's one funny story they told where he got so used to it that the same way when a dog sees a leash, they know it's time to go outside. If Indy saw the camera, he knew it was time to do something. Of course, he doesn't think of it in terms of I'm performing now, but time for me to look at something like I'm scared. So if they were shooting a scene without him, they needed to make sure he's out of the room and doesn't see the camera. I will say probably around the 45-minute mark, I started to get a little tired of it. It started to feel a little repetitive, like he's staring at a scary thing again. But also around that point, they sort of escalate from him just observing and investigating to actually putting some obstacles in his path. So for the last like 20 minutes, you see some light problem solving. It doesn't go so far where you're like, a dog couldn't do that.
Yeah.
It kind of does a good job straddling the line. The one thing I'd say, though, is I see a lot of people. Actually, Joey, you were just saying you felt very tense watching it. And maybe it's just because this was toward the end of my October where I watched 31 horror movies.
That might have colored your viewing a bit.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't feel any tension. I think part of it is because I never worried for the dog. I was like, they're not going to kill the dog. It's more about him trying to save the owner, and I just did not care for the owner. He's sick from the first frame, so he's very irritable throughout the movie. And you know why he's irritable, and it makes sense that he is. He's not himself, but we never really saw himself. And I feel like it would have helped to have a little bit of the good times. What was he like before the illness took hold? I want to see that he really loves Indy, because we love Indy watching, and he's kind of just annoyed by him. He's like, he won't leave me alone. So I just didn't connect with the owner at all. Which I guess to your point, Joey, that almost helps the point, which is that's how loyal dogs are. They don't care if you're not yourself. But I would have liked to have seen some of that. But overall, you can't really complain too much. It's like 73 minutes long. Yeah. So worth a watch.
And like I like the whole theme is like he's trying to protect his owner, but there are things that you just can't protect people from, like death.
Like
this
monsters.
Is something like no matter how loyal you are. Well, that's the thing. So I get like the whole message, like no matter how loyal you are and everything, there's just some things that you're not going to be able to do. And like you see the previous dog with his grandpa, you see the skeleton where like that dog was like overly loyal and died. And like you see the owner being like, you can't like help me with this. And the dog has to decide if it's going to stay or move on. So I get that. But also it was like a real spooky ghost that I didn't understand what the ghost demon was and why it was doing that and why it was only doing in this house and why no one ever investigated it.
That was the other thing that kind of turned me against the owner. He's
Yeah.
like, every dog that's ever lived here has run away. Everyone in my family dies. There's a graveyard. Everyone dies young. Has no one been like, okay, if you don't believe in the supernatural, at least check for like a carbon monoxide leak or some kind of a poison fungus in your house?
Or I don't know, go into the cellar and notice there's a big carved tunnel leading to a black abyss. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, so like the theme and everything, like I get it. I get like the message, like you have to let go of stuff, and like especially when someone's dying and like chronically ill, and like there when there's just like no hope for them, you just have to like let them go gracefully. But like what the actual demon was trying to do in the movie, I didn't understand because it looked like he didn't like the dog, but it had so many opportunities to kill the dog, and it just looked like it was just fucking with the dog for fun. I don't know. So that I was a little hung up on, but I enjoyed the movie overall. I had a really good time with this. Like I said, short and sweet, has good scares. If you have a girlfriend who loves dogs, put it on for her. She'll love it. Let her know the dog doesn't die. It'll be fine.
A what?
Huh?
A what?
A
If
dog
if I
doesn't...
no, if I have a what?
That was just
A
such a delayed
girlfriend.
reaction.
If a girlfriend, a girlfriend.
Oh, I'm
yeah.
sorry. I not familiar with that. Oh, okay.
Joey,
thinking-
we used to have those. There were times where we had those. We haven't
Oh.
had them in a while.
Yeah,
but...
right.
But that is the thing that Joey, I'm learning that is a thing that some guys have. That's like a thing.
Oh,
I'm shocked too. I'm shocked
okay.
too.
We'll talk
But
about
anyway,
it later. Okay.
We can
Yeah.
talk after this. I'll give you
Yeah.
guys some pointers.
Oh,
Okay. Talking to is gonna watch this big. What do you mean? It wasn't me. It was a joke. I told you not to say that.
Next up,